For about 5 minutes, guys. your time now. And I told
There we go. Alright, let it guys, let it guys. How's everyone doing today? How's this mic sound? We live, we live. Alright. Can you guys hear me? Just want testing 1, 2, 3. Sound good? Wait till the chat says yes or no real quick. Guess we don't need the webcam. Maybe I'll put it on here quickly. We haven't been on in a while. How is everybody doing today? This trash. Alright. So, get kind of set up here for a second. I didn't expect that phone call. Put a couple things over here real quick. This. Got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about here. Give me like 30 seconds to get set up. Go over that. Manipulation stuff. How is everybody doing today? Everybody like those earnings? Everybody excited for that? I thought they're pretty good earnings, to be honest with you. And a lot of people are upset because he talked about dark pools and not going after all these people until he sees ready, and we'll get into all that here in a second. Just let me get set up here quick. I want to show you guys a couple things here before. So what I want to do is go over the. First thing, hold on, where the hell is? Take way too many screenshots in a day here. I was gonna go over the. All right. So first thing, we're gonna go over the votes a little bit. Go over each person, but we're gonna go into some manipulation first, as always, and we'll talk about. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. So one of the things I really want to talk about, because I do not want this to go on the back burner, because it should definitely not be going on the back burner, is that ministry of truth. We're gonna definitely be getting into that as well. So hold on, give me 12 more seconds to set up. I have everything pulled up over here. All right, now let me pull these up here. So All right. So first of all, let's get into some of the good stuff here. Well, actually, fuck it. We'll go on AMC earnings. I'm sure everyone wants to get into earnings first here, real quick, just in case you missed it. Um, we'll just do a quick ass recap on earnings. I'm not gonna get super into it, but the big things I saw was single thing is up from obviously last year, and it's actually going up from 2019 as well at the start of the pandemic. Let's see here. They raise a dollar in blockbusters, and then when it's slower, that's when they do their $5 Tuesday shit. 39 million guests in Q1, so that's actually gone up 7 million guests from 2019. So more people are going, they're spending more money, and one of the big things I saw on there. Hold on, where the hell did I put it? Obviously, you guys saw Doctor Strange killed at 187 million. Um, One of the things I want to show you guys though, real quick, is so everybody I think is just going completely nuts over this earning, because in the middle of this earning he talked about getting people's letters and getting talking about dark pools and getting everybody's idea and then putting them in a binder, and then how he has the binder in his office and everyone is pissed off about that, and how, oh man, he's just putting our things in there and not caring about us. I don't think people understand how this works. So most CEOs don't interact with their investors like we do. Like, everybody sits there and thinks that, okay, most people don't even know the GameStop's CEO. They all think it's Ryan, and it's not. And nobody interacts with them. He doesn't tell you their plans, but yet Adam Aaron goes the extra mile and tells us your plan. He gives you guys an inch. He'll say, I'm reading your ideas. We like this. He said one of the ideas that he read in there that he liked is the golden ticket idea for the popcorn, which shows you that they're doing it. He's interacting with you guys. Too many people, like I said, you guys are holding this dude to this standard that is just insane. First of all, we're going to get into the MOAS here in a second. And I'm going to show you guys here. We're going to get into MOAS in a second, because I don't think a lot of people are understanding what's going on in the MOAS. Then we're going to get into, like, just how deep this shit goes, because I want people to understand the revolving door that's going on, because a lot of people don't understand this is beyond the stock market. This is beyond, you got the Federal Reserve. I mean, you got everything going on right now. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you the back end corruption that continues to put this revolving door around. Today, it's pretty funny. I don't know if you guys saw this. Let me see if I can find this video. I'm sure I'll see it in a second. But they tried to blame retail. Of course, I can't find it. Today, they tried to blame us for not selling and just holding. There it is. I knew it'd be somewhere. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this for you guys real quick here. Hold on. Unmute my thing here.
These guys lost a lot of money. Many of them are still in the market. Some of them really don't know what they're doing because they're novice amateur traders who started when they were bored and they don't really know much about stocks. We can't figure out when the real bottom of the overall market is that our 401ks are invested in, because the meme guys are still there. They don't know when to exit. Maybe they won't.
Wow.
So it's creating this broader problem anyway.
So they're already out to they're blaming us. Crap that we're not selling and we're destroying people's 401ks. Like I said, you guys, everybody needs to calm down. Everything is going. I've literally told you exactly how this is going to go, and it's gone exactly how I said. I don't know if you guys have been looking at the bond market lately, but I'm trying to find this post I put up earlier. The bond market is just gone. It's destroyed. It's crashed hard. We'll get into the streaming here in a second. Literally everything we want to happen is happening, and everybody's panicking because in the end of the day, you're doing what they want you to do. You're staring at the line. You're still staring at the magic trick. You're not staring at what's going on behind the scenes. So I'll show you what's going on behind the scenes so you guys can all kind of relax a little bit and see what's, like I said, you guys, everything we want to go down is going down. So we'll get into this here. Not the chart I wanted. I wanted one chart, and of course I can't find it. Like I said, sorry, I got a phone call, so I wasn't able to So I'm going to show you what's going on in the background. Everything we need to have happen to squeeze is literally slowly taking place in front of our eyes. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you a theory I also have in the back end about inflation and all this stuff. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, we did file our patent for the popcorn, and Adam Aaron said that that will be out in Q4, so it won't be out next quarter. It should be out Q4. So popcorn will be out in about 4 or 5 months. If I can't find that chart in about 2 more seconds, I'm going to be over it. Okay, whatever. All right, I'm over it. Fuck it. All right, so anyways. Ooh, we'll get into this girl too. Idiot. All right, so the bond market right now is crashing. And we'll just pull up my sketch pad here. And I told you what's going to have to happen before all these bankers start collecting on these ISDA contracts is the bond market's got to crash, and that's crashing right now. You got the stock market is going to crash, and you got the housing market is going to crash. The feds are still buying mortgage-backed securities right now at a insane rate. If you guys look at, there's a person I always follow. He puts up great information. If you guys ever want to know what's going on with the feds, this guy has some of the best DD I've seen on the Federal Reserve, what they're doing at all times. So I definitely give this guy a follow if you want to know what's going on behind the scenes. He'll tell you when they're buying. Sorry, let me get a drink quick. He'll tell you when they're buying mortgage-backed securities, BlackRock. I always pull up a whole bunch of DD after, but this is a very good person to follow if you don't follow him on Twitter there. But like I said, they're over right now. They're at $2.8 trillion in mortgage-backed securities. The way I'm looking at this is, if you guys come over here, you can see. We'll get into AMC here in a second. I want to show you guys what's going on so you can. My house thing. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'm so unorganized this one. All right, well, here it is. So right now, you got housing market. You got people defaulting like crazy. You had all these, things with COVID where people were able to defer rent, not be able to kick people out. Well, now that's starting to happen. You're also having foreclosures going. Like I said, you're going to start seeing these numbers go up higher and higher and higher. And on top of that, what's going on is nobody can afford a single house. Like I said, the housing market, nobody can afford anything. So you're going to start having foreclosures going down. Right now, the reason the house prices haven't dropped is you have the Federal Reserve and the Fed's buying 2.8 trillion in mortgage-backed securities. So anytime somebody, they're falling down, what are they doing? They're buying it, and they're buying it above ask price. So, if I don't find a second here, here it is. All right. So, mortgage-backed securities with the Feds. Like I said, they're busting 2.8 trillion. So all these banks and all these people that are defaulting, this is how they're stopping the 2008 crisis. Now, if you guys remember, when I went over this before with the tranches in my last, hold on, let me pull this up here, in this sketch here. So, what the hell's my tranche one? 2 seconds. I have way too many of these. All right. Classic. All right. So in this tranche, one. Oh, here it is, right here. All right, perfect. All right, so if you guys remember my video where we went back and I showed you guys how this compares to 2008. In 2008, we went down because of the tranches. Well, with these mortgage-backed securities. So pretty much what was going on is they would be happening right now, but the Federal Reserve is buying up all the defaults. They're making it so all of these are not defaulting. This is why I'm saying when this happens, it's going to be worse in 2008 because you have what should have already been 2008 being propped up as well by the Feds. Well, if they're going to start reducing their balance sheet and they're going to stop buying these, eventually that bubble's got to burst. On top of that, if you keep raising rates right now, the average house is at $500K for an average house. Or put that in here. So right now you got house market, you got $500K for an average house. They're raising rates nonstop. Who the hell can afford, first of all, a house at $500,000? Now you're putting it at these insane rates. Now, on top of that, you got inflation. One of the things that I keep telling you guys, and I mean, this is just a theory of mine, this isn't proof, but one of the things that I think is going on is we know the politicians are helping them. I've shown you guys that. I don't care if red, blue, they don't care. Trust me. They're all getting paid. The lobbyists are giving them, helping them with the laws. It's all about corporations here in the United States. Let's be real. We're all just profits to them. They want us smart enough to vote, but not dumb enough to not succeed. That's their goal. Well, hold on. I can't even remember where I'm at right now. Okay. Well, what they're hoping right now is, my theory is they're trying to squeeze us out with inflation. They know that they're caught in this play, okay? They can't get out of it. The only way to get out of it, as you heard even in this video that they're blaming us, the only way for them to get out of this situation is for us to sell. The market, the Ponzi scheme is not designed for retail to buy and sell. It's not. And you guys figured it out. Good job. You cracked the code. Now, you got to understand who we're going against. You have trillionaires that you're going up against. Now, in the background, what you guys are not looking at is what you have exactly what we want to have happen. You needed that one domino, that one big person to get fucked, okay? And guess who it is? It's our boy, Mr. Huang. Mr. Huang. So, if you guys remember my video about the bankers, do you guys remember that I showed you they're working with the cartel, they're working with the mafia, they're working with the oligarchies, they're working with criminals, they're shipping their cocaine over, they're helping them with drugs, they're doing all these things. Well, if you guys read the Pandora Papers, what they talked about in the Pandora Papers is the blacklist. This blacklist is for banks, and pretty much they're telling people, hey, you know, they're mobs, they're related to people, bad people. They can't have access to your bank. Don't do business with these people. Well, what Mr. Huang here is showing us is, let's close that. What Mr. Huang is showing us here in this is that, dude, I swear to God, if I close one more of these things, they're allowing people to buy themselves off this blacklist. And this is exactly what the cartel did. This is how the cartel is working with these people. They're getting themselves off the blacklist with these banks by just paying a little bit. Now, if you read this, Huang told on Goldman and Sachs, okay? Now, what they did is Goldman fueled a pipeline of billions of dollars in credit for Huang to make highly leveraged bets. Now, what he's talking about on these highly leveraged bets, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this many, many times, is ISDA. Now, a lot of people go, what is ISDA? And I'm going to show this over and over really quick because it fucking matters. It is the most important thing nobody is talking about. This is what everybody should be showing you. These swaps that these billionaires are getting away with. These swaps you continuously read about. Trillions were stolen through swaps. Everyone, what were these going through? They're going through ISDA. What ISDA is a third market, okay? So you have ISDA market, you have the OTC market, which is where all of you, your payment for order flow goes. All you guys hate the OTC market. Well, guess what? ISDA's worse than the OTC market. And then you got what we see, the stock market. Once again, this affects this, this affects this, this affects this, but the stock market can never affect those. Now, how they sit there and do this and how they control price with synthetic shares is called the master agreement and ISDA contract. They'll open it up here. They create X amount of shares. They show that because it's in the DTCC. It's in a vault, or it's in a master agreement. It goes through the DTCC. It's cleared through them. Well, the DTCC is, guess what? The bankers. So once again, you have the banks, the criminals that I keep talking about. It always comes back to who? The banks. Every time. Now, so let's get back to what we were talking about. So these bankers, through these swaps that are through this magic market that you need about $1.5 billion in assets to even talk about getting in the room. Now, when you look at ISDA, there's different types of memberships. You have primary members, you have associate members, and subscriber members. They have different benefits, okay? Now, you have to have a certain amount of money to be able to get into each one of these categories. So just because you have a $1.5 billion thing and you get accepted into ISDA, you might just be a subscriber compared to being 10 billion, 5 billion to get into the big boys league. So even ISDA itself has layers. It has another ISDA layer, and it has another ISDA layer for even richer guys. Okay? So when people sit there and try and talk about the stock market, when they sit there and you go, man, this shit is complicated. You're damn right it's complicated. There's pretty much 5 markets, okay? There's pretty much 5 markets, and you only see one of them. And then you wonder, where do they get these shares? How do they get these exclusions? Where do they get all this stuff? It's the most rigged game in the casino, in the world. Even Warren Buffett. Like I said, you guys, the one thing, he's talking about how they just turned it into a gambling parlor. He said this a little bit ago. Like I said, you guys, we're waking everybody up. The world, you guys want to know how to win? I'll tell you guys how to win this. Everyone wants Adam Aaron to go win this for us. And that's not what he's going to do. That's not his job. It's just like it's not the CEO's job of GameStop to go ahead and win this for us. And yes, I get that's frustrating. But the way we're going to win this, the way you guys not only win this, get our country back, is you educate the mass. You get everybody to figure out what's going on. Our number one tool, our number one power is we have numbers. We outnumber these guys, 10,000 to 1? You guys think about it. It's the 99% versus the 1. I don't care if you have GameStop. I don't care if you have Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't care if you have Sundial. I don't care what you have. You know what you fall under? If I'm a rich person, you know what you are? You're retail, and you're my bitch. You're my little sheep that I'm going to steal from. I don't care if you're AMC, GameStop. When I'm a rich guy, it's us versus them. It's retail versus the 99%. The fact you guys still have people out there, GME elitist, AMC elitist, get over yourselves, bro. Fuck off. Like, we're all fighting the same people. They're all stealing from us. Guess what? Those politicians that you guys love, the red and blue that you still love, guess what? They're in on it. Here's my problem. This is one thing that I try to explain to people, and this is something that, this is, as a human, this is one of the hardest things to do. And trust me, I do DD all day, and this is why I know and have learned as much as I've learned. You have people in this world that look over at Fox News. You have people that watch CNN. You have people that watch whatever, okay? I don't care what you watch. I'm not trying to get into that. But the point is you'll watch the same story on Fox News, okay? And then you'll watch the same story on CNN. On Fox News, it was this, and this because of this. And then you have CNN. No, it was this, and this because of this. And then all people do is watch their one side. You don't watch them what you do is you watch both sides. And then what you do is you go, all right, let me think about this logically. I got this information and this information. If I put these stories together and find a common ground, that's probably the truth. Why? Because you're watching a biased news station. The number one thing, think about this, you guys. Look at truly how fucking scary this is. And suddenly no one's talking about it. Literally, look at how fucking scary this is. And nobody is talking about it anymore. Why are they not talking about it? Because guess what? They threw abortion at you. You guys fought about abortion for a week, and guess what? You forgot that they have the Ministry of fucking Truth. You forgot that Germany, the Nazis, made a Ministry of Truth. They want to control fucking film, radio, propaganda, internet. What is Biden trying to do? Make a Ministry of fucking Truth, you guys. This is scary shit. This is what you should be talking about other than stuff in the stock market. I don't give a fuck about red, blue. It doesn't matter. If this is what's going on, what the fuck is going on right now? This is literally shit the Nazis did. And I'm going to show you guys what the fuck the government's plan is on all this shit with us, with CBDCs, with fucking the squeeze. We'll get into everything. Like I said, this is all, there's a reason they need this. You got to control the narrative. If a squeeze happens, you got to control the fucking narrative on why it happened. If the market crashes to, if the market crashes to what I think is going to happen, if the world comes crashing down to where you need to truly make centralized digital banking currencies to bail you out, you've destroyed the dollar that bad. You better control the narrative why. So that's a scary thing to see. Number two about this. Who runs this? The fucking Homeland. Guys, they could literally Patriot Act your ass if they don't like what you're saying. Just like the Nazis did. When they didn't like what you were saying, they fucking took you. Homeland Security can Patriot Act you. It's the same fucking shit. Now, let's get into CBDCs quick because it's fucking crazy. And you'll understand what the hell's going on and why they need this. So what you're going to do, okay? You're going to let this build and build and build. Because number one, you cannot have it crash before midterms. You can't. You cannot afford to let it happen. So what they're going to do, they're going to sit there and the Federal Reserve is going to keep on buying these fucking mortgage-backed securities, and they're going to cut costs in other areas. Like I said, in my eyes, the government knows how fucked they are in this situation because the government's in on the Ponzi scheme. So they know. Like, they're looking at these bankers, and they understand what the hell's going on. They know that retail is still buying AMC. We've shown you guys the numbers. If I had more time, I would have pulled all of this stuff up, and I'm sorry, Jay Brown. We got a whole bunch of stuff, by the way, guys. I'm really excited about this stuff. We're going to have a whole bunch of things coming on where we're going to get a whole bunch of people to educate, have spaces. I'm going to set some time to where we're just educating retail as a group collectively. We need to wake more up. Like I said, our number one goal right now is to wake up the United States on what is going on. So what I expect to have happen now is, like I said, they're going to keep on buying these mortgage-backed securities because what is going on is they are getting bailed out through these mortgage-backed securities. They're propping everything up through mortgage-backed securities right now with the Federal Reserve and these derivatives market through ISDA. It's the same swaps, just like I was showing you in this. It's the same stuff in ISDA. Just like before. In 2008, guess what happened in the stocky market? They did it through ISDA with what you called were the credit default swaps. You guys all heard of credit default swaps. Well, there you go. They did it through ISDA. They're still doing it through ISDA. And now to make it even worse, I showed you guys this before. You have, instead of CDOs, they made CDSs, which is even worse. Naked and NCNS, but piece of crap. The reason, I mean, I could just tell you it, but I like to show you guys so you know I'm not lying about stuff. So that's why I always pull it up before. They're basically shorting the credit default swap. So now what they're doing is they're able to take out, this is how these banks are like doing the bullshit and hedging themselves. And this is how the repos and how the feds are bailing them out. So what they're doing is you're a bank. You're tying it through a mortgage-backed security, okay? That's your collateral. So what you're going to do is you're going to have an ISDA contract, and you're a smaller bank. You go up to these other guys, and you're going to get mortgage-backed securities. So you got your master agreement right here, okay? You got your master agreement between your two bankers. And what they're going to do here is slap on a credit support annex because they still don't have to do it because Phase 5 doesn't affect them yet. Now, this credit support annex, for their collateral, they're going to use a mortgage-backed security. And then what they're going to do is just like they did back in the day. They're going to take those mortgage-backed securities. They're going to do what's called securitization. Securitization. Now, securitization is just basically taking a whole bunch of assets, just like this in the tranches, okay? Sound familiar? You take a whole bunch of assets, you repackage those, and you sell those to the investor, okay? So, basically what you're seeing is the same exact thing. They're taking mortgage-backed securities, they're doing securitization through ISDA, and then they're selling them. Now, these banks that are taking these on as collateral, okay, is going to be your bigger banks. Well, this is your JP Morgan, your Morgan Stanley, all these people. Well, now what they're doing is they're running the stuff through the Federal Reserve, because now what they're doing is they're selling this back to the feds. The feds are buying the houses backed by these for $50,000 above asking price. Does that now make sense to you guys? Why are houses being bought 50 to 60,000 over asking? Because they're helping JP Morgan and them get more than ask. And then they're raising the average cost for us in the meantime with rates. So by the time they back down and they back out, guess what? The feds left you guys holding the bags that are now buying houses right now. But guess what? You either got to do that or you got to go move into apartments. See, they got us kind of cornered right now. You either got to go pay what, $12,000 for a fucking apartment a month type crap, or or you got to go get a house. Well, this is the Ponzi scheme going on right now. They got it all intertwined. And like I said, but like I said, there's good news at the end of the tunnel. So everybody, we'll go over some good news quick. Now, with him singing, with Juan talking about, these ISDA contracts, showing them all this stuff going on and how he got the billions of dollars of credit, he's singing like a canary. And guess what happens? Boom. Goldman, as you just said, he literally mentions Goldman. He mentions them they're the people that let them off the blacklist. They're the people that took the bribe. And what do you know? They're looking into Goldman along everything else the firm does. It's looking at dark pools. It's looking at ISDA contracts. That's the best news I've ever heard. Like, if you wanted something to go, get jacked on, this is it, dude. They're looking into ISDA contracts. Now, why did all these fucking data centers burn? Because most of these ISDA contracts are written on paper. Now, they'll send those out to this data center, and as we found out, they got their best friends. Now, Iron Mountain, they send it over to their little buddies over at Iron Mountain, these contracts, and they just burn the shit out of the warehouses over and over again. And we already went over, let me see if this is Corey. Look at this. This is unbelievable, you guys. So what they do is they'll write all these ISDA contracts. When the heat's coming on, they pop them over to this Iron Mountain place. Iron Mountain, look at all these data fires. And every time you'll read it, guess what they are? Mortgages. Mortgage stuff. Unsavable mortgage stuff. Oh, man. Citibank, it's got mortgage-backed securities attached to this. Over and over. It's just mortgage-backed securities you'll see. You're like, what in the hell? It's always the same thing. Look at this. Another fire. Another fire. And it's all the same company. Another fire. Kills 9, destroys. Guess what? This is economic stuff. This is the most corrupt banks. These are the banks right here working with all the... Remember I told you about the blacklisted cartel? These are all the banks. Literally, every single bank. verbatim. These are the ones that are working with criminals. These are the ones that have been caught working with the cartel. All 3 of these. And they're also burning fires. Who the hell burned down buildings? Oh, cartels. Iron Mountain, more fires. More fires. We're not done, guys. We're not even close to done. More fires. More fires. Another fire. Another fire. Another fire. All data center fires, all with mortgage-backed security. Like I said, you guys, this is no joke. The data food processing plants, I'm not going to say they're burning those down. I won't say that, because if you guys actually look at the data and how many have occurred over the course of the years, it's a natural occurrence, and 20 is not as much as it normally is. So I'm not going to say that they're burning data. I don't know what the hell's going on with food processing plants. They're just kind of, I don't know, like either so they're not paying attention or something. I don't know what's going on. But either way, so you got these guys looking into now. Like I said, everything we want going on in the background is finally happening, and everybody's freaking out because of the price. Well, think about it this way. 5 months ago, how many people would have killed 4 or 5 months ago? How many of you guys would have killed to buy AMC at the price it's at right now? But yet now that it's at that price, you're all freaking out. What's changed? Did they cover? I didn't see AMC's get covered at any point, did you? So now that it's at your price, hell of a time to average down, isn't it? Now that they're looking into the banks, now that you got Melvin Capital dying, you got people being, like I said, we finally got our little canary. We've always talked about needing a domino. There you go. Guess what he's doing? He's looking at the RICO Act. When you get the RICO Act on you, you're talking, because you're looking at life, dude. He's going to tell on everyone. So that's a super good thing. That, like I said, this is some good stuff we need. Because in the end of the day, I don't care what regulation passes. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's going to be a regulation in the next month or 2 or anything like that. The CAT system going live, I'm happy about that. But I'm happy about that for future. I'm happy about that for the stock market. I'm happy about that for once we actually cause this MOAS and we get this fucking SEC fixed. Because the corruption is beyond fucked. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. And this is, like I said, this is just insane. It's just so, shows you just truly how worthless the SEC is. The SEC, of course I can't find it. Give me like 2 seconds. 55 windows, 10,000 tabs. Check out that Johnny Depp thing here. Oh, and we'll get into this here too. I do want to get into this with everybody. The shareholders thing, the voting and stuff. I do want to get into that in a second. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Okay. So if you guys look at this, this talks about how much we pay the SEC, okay? We pay the FCC an average salary of $900 million, basically, okay? Now, I can't remember how many people. Give me 1 second. I think it was like 20 or 50. Does anyone know how many people they just hired? They just hired somebody for like their crypto shit. I think it was 50, if I remember. Give me 1 second. They just posted it. I think it was like 50 people. They hired like whatever. They hired like 50 people. Okay. Let me check the chat just in case anyone knows. I can't see it right now. I have way too many freaking tabs open. Give me 1 second, guys. Can't find the chat. All right, here we go. All right. Does anyone know how many people the SEC just hired? If not, I just don't care. We'll just do math. All right. Either way, pretend it's 50. Okay. 20, whatever. What the hell did I do with it? All right. Either way, so it's 900 million. The SEC last year they fined 1.5 billion in fines. Okay. They collected on 40% of 1.5 billion. So what's that? That's around like 600 million. Okay. We paid the SEC 300 million more than they collected in fines. Think about that. We pay the SEC 300 million more than they collect in fines, and the market is worse than it's ever been. You're seeing corruption at an alarming rate. And what is happening? Nothing. Like I said, it's crazy what's actually going on right now. Second here. Pull this back up. So back to this. Now, like I said, the bond market was gonna crash. The bond market is fucking tanking right now. So what we need for these banks, everybody wants to know how to defeat the market makers, how we can win this. Sorry, it's not very easy to write with a little mouse here. All right, number one, very easy step. The most important step of all. One, educate yourself. Why? Because if you don't know what you're talking about, how can you educate other people? Number two, our biggest asset in this entire thing is educating others, our numbers, getting more involved, more people buying, more people holding, more people seeing the Ponzi scheme, more people waking up to. Could you imagine this? All right, imagine this, everyone. If everybody in AMC and GME is holding, and all of a sudden to fuck them up, imagine if everybody else in every other stock knew what was going on and they held too. What would happen? What would happen if all retail, half of retail, 40% of retail, 50% of retail, the way the stock market works, the way the Ponzi scheme works, you need money, keep coming in, keep coming in, keep coming in. The more you educate, the more people in retail you wake up, the more well hold. In other stocks, the more harder and harder and harder it will get for them to short AMC, because we're all about right now exposing the derivatives, the market makers, and the banks. We kill them off, you get a MOAS. Like I said, there is a difference between a MOAS and there's a big difference between a short squeeze. With the short squeeze, you're getting big hedge funds, small hedge funds. You're getting we want the market makers, but with the short squeeze, I don't with the market maker exclusion, Rule 203B, all the market makers exclusions themselves are legal. On top of that, they have exclusions to where they can hold it longer and longer. So they don't have the rules we have. So in order to get the market maker to do a short squeeze, like this is why I was telling everybody, everybody's focusing on Citadel. Citadel will not be involved in the short squeeze. They're going to be able to do all their bullshit, all their exclusions, all their other stuff on the side to get out of a short squeeze. But what Citadel will not be able to get out of is a MOAS. Like I said, you will not get a market maker in a short squeeze. In a MOAS, you will get them. A MOAS will start with the banks. I'm going to show you how to get a MOAS. After it starts with the banks, the first thing the banks are going to do is they're going to go right at the market maker. Why? Because they're the ones who are taking all the contracts. They're also the ones using, what do we call? The CNS program. Let me write that a little bit. On top of that, well, I guess the SFT isn't in yet, but with the CNS program, I'm not going to get into too much because I don't want to explain 20,000 things and throw too much at you. I'm just trying to give you a very broad education here quick, but a deep education. So, with the CNS program, it's basically, this creates synthetics, okay? This creates synthetics. Sorry, you can't read that. I'm going to make myself up. Okay, this creates synthetics. This creates synthetics. Same thing. Whatever. Now, the CNS program, if you are a market maker, I will show you this real quick, this one thing. Whoop. Like I said, I always like to show you guys all my work because I don't like to just say shit and everyone's like, yeah, okay. This is the DTC's website. Like I said, I don't show you anything unless I know for a fact it's true. Now, in the DTC's website, if you come down here towards the bottom, this talks right here about market makers, okay? The CNS deliveries, what this is basically I'll show you guys what the CNS program is because otherwise this isn't going to make sense. It'll take 2 seconds. Man, it would do this. All right. So, the CNS program, it's called Continuous Net Settlement, okay? Now, the way this works is you have a vault controlled by the DTCC, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to have a whole bunch of hedge funds, you're going to have market makers, you're going to have other banks, and that's about it. Because you got to have a circle, it's got to be the circle of trust. You got to have a lot of money. You can't just be some fucking amateur involved in this. Now, what this does is it's called continuous net settlement. So let's say Sally here works at hedge fund number 1, okay? This is Sally's. Sally's shorting some shares, okay? She needs to dip into the DTC's. She can't find shares at the current time, so she needs to dip on into the DTCC's fake share fund. We call it the synthetic. I call it the synthetic fucking bank. So I need to dip myself into this synthetic reserve, okay? Now, you're not going to give a fuck, because I'm going to show you how all this is true. You're not going to care whether it's GME. You're not going to care if it's AMC. You're not going to care if it's, I don't care, Apple. You don't care. You don't care what stock it is. What you care about is how much money it is. You care about the net worth, okay? So, you're going to go ahead and borrow this, and Sally suddenly owes $60K. She gets synthetic shares. They're treated like she'll get GME, blah, blah, blah. She'll get these synthetic shares. They're treated like real shares. But inside the DTC system, all they care about is the net worth. Now, go back to this quick. If you come and look at this, it gives them exclusions. It gives them more stuff. Now, inside this, if you're a market maker and you have orders, you can take things out of the CNS. If you're going to have segregations or you're going to have to fill your short positions, okay, or you're going to get margin called, you can dip on in this. And if you have other needs, other orders as a market maker, you can go ahead and pop. Give them some of these shares and fill the orders, and then you go ahead and get a certain amount of time to do blah, blah, blah. Well, on top of that, this is what I'm showing you, okay? Regardless of volume or anything else, all they care about is you get put into one net and one short position, okay? So you dip into it, and all they care about is your one long position, which would mean I owe $30,000. So I'm short 30K. So that's my short position inside this. Once I pay that money back, boom, it's good to go. Now, in order to get this, then you're going to get, this is where it gets interesting, you guys. When you do this way, you're not only going to get fucking market makers, you're going to get family offices. And then you're going to get hedge funds. And then on top of that, you're going to get retail shorts. All those fucking clowns, those douchebags, the Mark Cahodes of the world, the tool beggars that talk shit about us because they're shorting AMC and they're making all this money, those tools, they'll get it too, don't worry. Fucking douchers. All right, now, this is your MOAS, right? So this is going to be your MOAS screen here. Now, what's going to happen, the way you get the MOAS is you need to hit these banks. What the banks are going to do when they're losing money, there's $650 trillion in derivatives. $488 trillion. You guys, guess what? Here is all of your MOAS money. There it is. You guys want your 100Ks. You guys want your blah, 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 your 50K, your 10K. You need to kill the banks because the banks are the ones that have that much money hidden in the dark. Now, let's say you start putting this money, all these interest rates, you start moving your house loans, your things like that, out of the dark. You bring that into the light. You move your loans from an ISDA-related bank to a non-ISDA-related bank. That bank now needs to cover that amount to put into this new bank, okay? So now you're hitting them. You don't open new loans with those type of banks. Why? Because those banks anyways are fucking you in the ass. What do I mean by that? They're giving you 1% interest to hold your money there. Why? They sit there in the background, take your money, and do whatever the fuck they need to do to make more money off it. Now you're going to go to that same fucking bank and go, hey, I need a car loan. I need a home loan. What are they going to do? Okay, I need to charge you 15 to 20% on that, or whatever they got to do, which is way more than you'll ever make putting money inside the bank. So if you never can grow your account because you're always paying more in interest than what they're giving you, what the fuck's the purpose of a bank? Other than the fact that you need it to pay your bills because it makes it easier to do it on your phone or just use a fucking bank card. Like I said, the banks are fucking trash. The way you get them is you need them to start collecting on what we call these ISDA contracts. And the person they're going to go collecting on is Citadel. The one y'all fucking hate. You want to kill Citadel? You want to know how to destroy Citadel? You fuck up the banks who are in partners with them. That's how you do it. You want to go ahead and you fuck up Virtue? You do the same thing. Find out what banks they're in, and you fuck them up. And on top of that, these banks right now, so think about this, you guys. This is what I want people to truly understand and think about. All right. I crashed the economy, okay? It's 2008. I stole all this money. I crashed the world. And what was my punishment? My punishment was you guys gave me billions and billions of dollars in bailouts. Are you going to learn your lesson? If I gave you $1 billion to steal $1 trillion, what would you do? Oh, are you going to keep going? That's what they did. They kept going. So for anyone that thinks 2008 is like the scariest thing about it, they printed 40% of all United States currency in 2020, you guys. Why? Because 2008 just kept getting amplified. It just kept getting pushed into ISDA. Like I said, you look at these charts, it's the same shit. The reason that the banks could do this is they have the too big to fail. Why? Because too many people are inside these banks. Not only that, look at this money in the derivatives market. If these banks collapsed, this much money would be exposed to the world. It would destroy the U.S. economy. Well, guess what? Maybe it needs to be destroyed because the fucking people that are running all of our money, just like everywhere around the world, are you guys looking at what's going on in England? It's the same shit. Guess what? United States, that's your future. Watch what's going on in England. They just hit double-digit inflations. You don't think we're going to? What are you going to do when what are you going to do right after midterms when you guys sit there and vote certain ways that they want you to, and right after midterms they raise rates one. Then what? What are you going to do when gas keeps going? Now, here's what I want to show you guys. Look at how fucked up this is. Now, I had to show somebody this because they were talking today. I can't remember who the hell it was. Let me see it. It was about gas. Oh, it was Unusual Whales. There's Unusual Whales. He was posting up. Where the hell was it? Unusual Whales posting about gas prices. And every single one of the gas companies right now. Every one. Where the hell is it, man? Oh, here you go. Look at this. So this is, remember, they have to raise prices, you guys. They have to raise prices. But how are they going to fucking make it if they don't raise prices for the consumer? Here you go. ExxonMobil doubles profits to $5.48 billion. Chevron lifts profits to $6.2 billion in a pandemic while we're all getting fucked. Look what they're doing. BP's first quarter profits higher than more in a decade, but they gotta raise prices. Shell's first quarter profits set an entire record for the company, but they gotta raise prices. Inflation. It's inflation. It's the Russian war. We're making prices, and all you ever see Biden do, we got to lower fucking gas price. I got these initiatives to lower gas prices. We got to make sure they're not price gouging. Was this not proof they're fucking price gouging? When everyone across the entire fucking board in an industry, every single one of them is making a profit or a record profit, doubles their profits from the previous quarter. Doubles. How do you do that? You price gouge. That's the only way. That's it. Your commodity didn't change. Biden's talking about he released all these barrels, millions of barrels from our old reserve. So you're releasing millions of barrels from our reserve to do what? To give more money to the rich fucks? Jesus Christ. We've already had the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of the world in the last 2 years. The richest 1% made $3.7 trillion. They made $3.7 trillion, while every one of you can't afford fucking, groceries? Think about that feeling you get now, you guys. Think about this. Think about that feeling you get when you have to go to Cub Foods or you have to go to the grocery store. You feel the same feeling I'm getting. Fuck, there goes $190 on barely anything. Yay, I get to go spend 300 fucking bucks at the grocery store to feed my family. Well, that turned into 600. What the fuck? Yay, everybody, we get to buy $10 bags of ramen. The price gouging across the board is beyond insane. Meanwhile, all the rich guys, what are they doing? They're shipping champagne. They're making record profits. Elon Musk, I mean, he did a joke, and trust me, I love Elon. I'm not bagging on Elon. But Mr. Beast put up, he made $1 million a day, and Elon said, I make that a minute. And the sad thing is that's true, and that's reality. And there's only so much in the world where that should never happen. No one should make that much money. No one. In a minute? Like, come on. Like, what the fuck? That's people's lifetime. I get he's done great things. Like I said, I'm not bagging Elon. I'm showing you the fact that nobody should make that fucking much. Like I said, it's insane, you guys. People sit there and, like I said, oh, that's democracy, and that's this, and that's... No. The United States was built on competition. It was not built on the fact that somebody could just steal your business. It was not built on the fact that somebody could buy the media, trash your company, steal your patents. Do you guys understand? Have you guys ever looked up, just Googled, and truly looked at the cures of things? Medical things? I'm not even going to get into that industry right now because it's so insane. But the amount of cures that there truly are have lost, or have taken by pharmacies, are unreal because they need people to die. As sad as it is, they need us to die. But it's like there's so much stuff that in the end of the day, it just comes down to the bottom line is profit. If money went towards correct things, think of how much better our life would be and easier. Why the fuck? Like I said, people sit there and think I'm a Republican or a Democrat. I hate fucking both of them. They're both piles of shit. They're both taking money from fucking lobbyists. They're both taking bribes. They're both taking you guys, you don't spend millions of dollars to get into a public office to make $250,000 unless you're getting millions of dollars worth out of that seat. What are they getting that we're not seeing? That's the thing. Like, what are they getting? Because we see what these corporations are getting with their money. We see what they're getting with their bribes. They're getting the politicians in their pocket. They're getting laws on their side that is against retail and for them, against their own people. Like I said, corporations, I've shown you guys, they have more money than the entire United States. Think about that. You have corporations that have more money than countries combined. You have more corporations that, like I said, they could literally think of what they could do. Everybody's sitting here looking at us, worrying about the squeeze. Adam Aaron, we need him to do something. He's got to expose it. We got to get this dividend. You guys, guess what? GameStop's doing exactly that. And if GameStop's thing works, there you go. We now know the path. If it doesn't work, you guys got all pissed off at Adam Aaron about nothing. You guys, this is the one problem. I speak to Dave Lauer. I speak to a lot of people that have been in this industry for a long,
long time, and I speak to them a lot. I speak to people that have been fighting this fight before you guys even knew what the stock market was. There's so much corruption going on. There's so many people that have been fighting this fight that there's so much to learn that when you see somebody come out and say, all right, this is the way, this is the, like Mark Cahodes, like I said, I'm not just trying to bash individuals. I'm just using them as an example. This is another thing. We can talk about individuals, not be bashing them, but use them as an example because it's relative information to the topic. Like a Mark Cahodes comes in, STOs, this is the way. We do this, that's it. You had so many people jump on that train going, yes, this is it. This will no matter. You didn't even know what an STO was. Nobody even knew about this thing. We look into T0. We find out it's not even true blockchain. You look into all these things, but you just hear the idea. And it was some person that he sounds like he knows a little bit about the market. And instantly, if our guy doesn't do that, he doesn't care about retail. You guys all have this impression. Adam Aaron doesn't care about retail because he's not sitting there doing everything in his path to fuck the shorts. In the end of the day, you know how you fuck the shorts? AMC gets out of debt. You make them so fucking profitable each quarter, they can't ignore it. No one can ignore it anymore. You guys, look at what is going around you. Here, we're going to go into AMC right now. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here. We're going to get back into the world shit right now, but let's get into AMC. I want everyone to truly look at this play. Look at what is happening from the time you got AMC to now. And like, holy fuck, you guys. Like, this is the best situation you've ever been in. All right, when my thing catches up here. If you guys see this chart right now I'm looking at. This chart right here is AMC. It's revenue per quarter, per year, breaking it down over the growth period, things of that nature. Well, if you guys look at 2014, 2015, 2016 numbers, 17, 18, AMC right now, obviously it started plummeting right here. You can see when the pandemic started. You can actually see, in my eyes, when they started shorting it as well hard. Obviously, you got 2022. AMC was dying off. This was a good shorting opportunity. It made sense. The shorts went for it. Now, as you guys can see, though, the point of this chart is it shows you AMC, look at its growth, quarterly growth here. Look at this. That's fucking huge. Their quarterly growth is massive. It's beyond 2014. It's beyond 2015, 16. You're getting into 17, 18 numbers. Now, on top of that, to make it look even better and to show you guys how much better of a situation we're in. So AMC's growth is going up exponentially, like I said. Today in our earnings call, Adam Aaron was talking about 2022. Where is it? God damn it. He was talking about blah, blah, blah. I wrote it down. I can't find it. Of course, I'm not going to read it. Either way, whatever. He was talking about how 2022 numbers, he's expecting to basically destroy 2019 and double it almost to the point where we're at 2017, 18 numbers. If you look at this chart, where the hell did that go? Right around here. Well, he says on top of that, in 2023, he expects the numbers to be even greater. So that means these charts, these quarterly earnings, all of this will go up because one of the things he said, if you guys looked, they closed down. They closed down 95 of their theaters that were all underperforming. They bought 12 more, or they opened up an additional 12, and then they bought, out of those 12, out of those 95, they were all in the bottom half. I was looking at, I wish I had too many fucking tabs up here. Hold on. One of these tabs I have it. I literally have, as you guys can see, 60,000 tabs. So I'm not going to look for it. Either way, we're going to be able to, like I said, he's going to start paying off debt. I told you guys after this quarter, I told you guys about 5 or 6 months ago, after this quarter, I expect him to start tackling debt a little bit. He's going to start smashing that down. And one of the things he also said was in 2023, as you guys can see, there's no reason for AMC to ever ask for another share or to dilute the stock in any way, shape, or form. They're back to super profitable. They're selling out of merchandise like crazy. He's talking about, this is one of the things that I'm super excited about because this is going to be very, very profitable for him as well. They're talking about doing AMC branded merchandise, and that's going to drop in Q2. Now, think of how many people are going to be buying Ape AMC stuff. I'll buy Ape AMC stuff, and I'll wear it every single video I ever make. There's going to be a ton of people that would buy AMC shirts, mugs, whatever you want, you can think of. And that will be massive. Like I said, you guys, the more money AMC makes, the better for that. Why would you short something when you suddenly see you short a company because you see the company's dying, you see they have problems, you see that their business isn't profitable. AMC, you're looking right now, it's getting back to back to the best that they've ever been, and on top of that, they're doing upgrades. They got laser. I mean, the fact that they're upgrading, everybody's sitting there. We're so worried about that. We're so worried about this. This shows you AMC's not worried about debt like you guys are. And the fact that they're not worried about that and they're showing you that they have confidence in the company, that they're going to keep upgrading, expanding it, taking ideas. Like I said, you guys look at AMC's numbers. Look at that. Like I said, our stuff's just going up, up, up. It's going back to where it should have been. Now let's look at streaming. Look at that. They're talking about Netflix literally having to work with AMC because they're getting that fucked. Everybody before this, think about this. When we first started in this, everybody talked about streaming's the way to go. Oh man, everyone's going to go into streaming. AMC's dead, blah, blah, blah. No one wants to go see theaters. Now you're looking at it. The data supported it at the time. Now you're looking at it, and the data supports the complete opposite. Streaming's dead. Nobody wants to sit at home. We've sat at home all fucking day for 2 fucking years. Think about how long you've been at home, stuck inside. Jesus, no one wants to sit at home anymore. Get the fuck out. Think how long it's been since you've taken your wife out on a date, your girl. No one wants to go, hey, you want to come over and stream? No, you want to go out, wine and dine her, and then she wants to, get a little snuggly. You know what I'm saying? You got to work for it. Maybe that's why population's going down, because no one had to work for it for the pandemic. You know what I mean? But as you guys can see, like I said, everything we need. You got banks losing money like crazy. You got banks being investigated. People are starting to wake up. Look at this. The SEC can't sit there and keep lying. The thing about it, you guys, we were on Jon Stewart. You had Jay Brown. You had, Dave Lauer. You had Pete. You had all these legends on with Jon Stewart talking about this, getting the world there. Like I said, that is our most important thing. Everybody sits there and asks, what can I do all day long? Or what can I do for this movement? What's the biggest thing we could do? How can we win? You can win by it. Instead of sitting there all day long watching a YouTuber watch the line, getting that hopium in every time a fucking single article comes in. Educate others. Show people what's going on. Talk to other people. Communicate with your friends, your family. Show them. It affects their lives too. You guys, if you have a 401k, do you think it's not going to get destroyed from this? You're damn right it's going to. Now, like I said, with the plunge protection team going on, the feds, everyone being bailed out by this and that, there's too much stuff going on that people, like I said, everyone's waking up. You can't hide this manipulation. You can't hide these stock patterns. People are starting to see what's going on, everybody. I know you guys don't see it, because what they're going to do, think about this. All right, think about it this way. You're getting caught. You're starting to run out. What are you going to do? You're going to attack that stock harder than ever. You're going to do... We knew this was coming. When you were about to lose no matter what were you going to do? You were going to drop that stock as far as possible. Maybe even to the point of where they first started to go, you guys, you had your chance. Look, you're all screwed now. When in the end of the day, they're fucked. Everything on the wall, all the writing on the wall. Look at this, nonstop. The trillions, like I said, you guys, it's just nonstop crisis, 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 bank crisis, bank crisis, bank crisis. So they're figuring out people's roles in flash crash. Like I said, it's nonstop, you guys. People are continuously waking up. They cannot sit there and lie and lie and lie. The best weapon we have is to wake up the world. Now, let's get all this shit out so we can go ahead and get back to this. But like I said, When you want that MOAS, you get the banks to come calling on the market makers. Because you know where the market makers are going to have to go? Oh, they're going to come calling on all the family offices. The banks are going to come calling on the family offices opening ISDA contracts as well. They're going to go here and here first. Well, those guys are the ones also bailing out the hedge funds. So you get the domino effect. But not only do you get the domino effect, every single person, if you cut the head of the snake, the entire body dies. And when they all have to pay, every single one of them, that's when all this comes out. That's when you get that money you guys have been waiting for. Every one of you that's been holding on for this, and now guess what? You guys have been holding on for a year. Guess what happens when you're holding on for 2? You're just paying less and less taxes. Fuck them. Fuck them. Good. They don't need any of our money. This shit's a hard-earned fucking... I don't care what any of you guys say. This is a second job. Buying and holding right now, going through this emotion. Half you guys, like I said, what are they trying to do? They're trying to fucking drop this as far as you can. They're trying to get us with inflation, not do a damn thing about it. Why? Because in the end of the day, it's the banks and it's the Federal Reserves who control that and who are writing the ISDA contract. So why the hell would the feds want to bail us out? Why the hell would they want to give us... I mean, I've seen people talk about stimulus checks. Why would they want to give us all stimulus checks when they know we're going to take all those again and do what we did last time and just buy more AMC with it and fuck them even harder? It's like a double-edged sword in them. Like I said, the problem is they've stolen so much from the pie, you guys. Like I said, eventually inflation is going to just hit so high of numbers. We're going to have no choice but to go fuck them up. That's how I feel. That's truly how I feel. They're going to try and get us for a little bit. And then, if they have nothing left, MOAS, they're fucked. And trillions will go to retail. Trillions will go to retail. And this fucking Ponzi scheme will come crashing down. That we call the biggest fucking lie and joke in the world, the stock market. Educate yourself. Educate others. Now, one other thing, people, you guys, we have a fucking opponent. I'm going to say that again. This isn't a normal stock play. You have an opponent. You have somebody who wants you to lose, okay? You have somebody who's doing everything he can to make you lose. He's against you. He's an opponent. He's shorting you, okay? So what you want to do is go, all right, who is shorting me? Who the fuck is against me? Who's against you? The banks. Okay? Who's against you? Market makers. Who's against you? Hedge funds. Now, so what you say to yourself is, how the fuck do these guys make money? Well, you want to know how these guys make money? Number 3, stop playing YOLOs and option plays you guys do not understand. Why? The market makers write 40%. We found out Citadel writes 40% of total options. And not only that, guess what? They control the price. And not only that, guess what? They hit max fucking pain every week. If you know what you're doing with options, play them. I want you guys to understand something. If you're going to listen to anything I've said today, this is the one thing I want you to listen to. Because this is where the movement went wrong. Right fucking here. Everybody sat there in the beginning of this movement, and you guys all watched YouTubers that made a fuck ton of money on option plays that were at the right price at the right time. And you guys all saw them fucking destroy on options. And now people go, well, they did YOLOs and they made all this, so it's worth fucking throwing all this money and throwing all this. It's just $20 times 5. It's just $100. It's just $100 over and over times a fucking million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million fucking people throwing them in there. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're new to options, here's your number 1 fucking rule if you want to make money. Number 1 rule if you want to make money. Because this is what watching those YouTubers to all these new traders, all these new people that were introduced to options don't understand. And this is what gets you every time. I'm going to write this. Only one fucking thing. Not, hold on, my bong is in the way. Not all options have to be plus 1,000 before you sell. You guys, I'm not going to teach you option strategies, but what I'm going to tell you right now, don't let a green option go bad because you thought it wasn't enough. It's always better to be green than red. It is okay to have an option be 150% and go, hey, that's a good profit. I'm going to take that and then reestablish maybe. It's okay. Not everything has to be plus 1,500% before you sell, because you saw all these people, YouTubes, all these guys destroy on them, and they sold at plus 20,000. I understand that. You need to understand what a YOLO means and a lotto. They're basically bought lottery tickets, and you watched a lottery ticket hit. That does not mean, all right, anytime I get an option, it's got to be a lottery or I can't make money. Guess what? If you guys buy a whole bunch of options and you sell them at 150%, these profits, and they keep adding up, smalls, that adds up quite a bit. All of a sudden, that rent you couldn't pay, you can pay now. Like I said, writing YOLOs and writing these stupid option plays are holding option plays too long because you don't understand them. Writing an option so short in the money, not giving yourself enough time, not doing certain things. Like I said, if you're smart with options, you know how to play them. I'm not telling you don't do them. But if you sat there and your only point of view on options was, I saw these YouTubes kill it, I saw people kill it, that's not how it works. Options are mainly used, I'm telling you right now, they're mainly used to hedge positions. That's what they're mainly for. They're not made to fucking go, all right, I'm going to do YOLOs instead of shares, and then I will just destroy, and that's how it does it. You guys got to think about it this way. Let me show you an example on why, as well, YOLOs aren't the smartest idea. Now, let's say you YOLO'd, okay? It moassed, and you just happen to get the luckiest fucking option in the world, okay? Let's say you're looking at plus $10 billion percent, okay? You're at 10 million percent. It's the greatest option ever. You YOLO'd and it hit. Guess what they're gonna do? When you go to sell that fucking option, someone's got to buy it. Someone has to buy that option. They're just not gonna buy it until it comes down. So while you're sitting there watching it, you did all this, I'm going to do this just to get the billion, they're just not going to fucking buy it. They're going to wait till it goes down or you go into the red, and then they'll buy it. And you'll have it sit there pending while you sell it forever, and then you're going to want to kill yourself because you just made $1 billion that you can't sell because the market is fucked. Now, how do you win in a short squeeze play? And I know what everyone's going to say. On top of that, like I said, stop playing YOLOs. Stop playing options if you don't understand them. And if you do play options, you don't always need plus 2,000 to 5,000. Plus 100, 200, 300. It's great. It's good stuff. Number 4. You always want to buy shares when you can, but don't stress yourself. When you do buy them, you buy on the lit, and not just any lit. You buy on the IEX. This exchange at all times, 100%. If you can't get to the IEX, you have no other choice. You go NASDAQ. That's it. When we sit there and we look up, you can look up daily charts and you can see where people are ordering. The New York Stock Exchange is fucking trash. If you're ordering to the New York Stock Exchange, it's no better than payment for order flow. They're literally trash. It's fucking trash. Don't order there. These two, that's it. Now, number 5. like I said, we need to stop going so hard at retail and realize, hey, we're all in this together, as cheesy as it sounds. Stop fighting somebody. Stop being an elitist. Get over yourself and get over fucking. I get it. I get you made a play. I get you bought at AMC, maybe high and you're down. I get you bought GameStop, and maybe you're holding at 300, and you're fucking freaking out. And you think in the back of your mind, I got to get everybody in this fucking play or else. Because else, why would you give a fuck that hard? Let's be honest. And every time I ever find any kind of elitist, Bed Bath and Beyond, I don't give a fuck what you're in. Same thing every time. They bought up high as fuck, and now they need everyone to get in to feel good about themselves. Get over yourself. We're all fighting the same shit to do. Dude, it's 1 versus the 99. That's it. You remember this CNS program I was telling you about? Guess what? We need to treat this like the retail CNS. Instead of the DTCC, look at it this way. They don't give a fuck what stock you take out right here. He doesn't give a shit. The DCCC, they don't care. If you're short in GameStop, they don't even look at this. They look at your net worth. They look at what you can come up with cash. That's the way we need to look at retail. I don't care if you're GameStop. I don't care if you're fucking AMC. I don't care if you're fucking, like I said, Bed Bath & Beyond, Sundial. I don't give a shit what you're in. When we have Discords, we have space calls, when you have all those things, it shouldn't matter. Because guess what? Bed Bath & Beyond, GameStop, they're all getting fucked by ISDA. They're all getting fucked by the CNS program. They're all getting fucked by payment for order flow. Every one of them gets fucked by internalizers. Guess what else? Every fucking one of them gets fucked by Rule 203B. Market maker fill before fucking locate. Because that makes it legal naked fucking shares. Guess what? Family offices are fucking every one of you guys just the same. They don't give a fuck. So when we teach you guys these type of manipulations, when I teach you this stuff, it's not just AMC, because AMC's in my name, and that's the one I mainly show. I show you this shit because it applies to every single one of your stocks. Every one of you. All of you are getting fucked by this. So there shouldn't be this like, oh God, the GameStop only fucking thing. Oh, AMC things. If you see something like that, don't be afraid to jump in. Like I said, our biggest thing we got is numbers. We got to teach each other everything. We got to learn. Stop being put off. You guys will be surprised what you will learn from other people. It's crazy what you will learn from other people. I can't even tell you how much shit I've learned from other people. So guys, there's steps we can take, and we're not. We're literally still sitting here like it's high school. We're literally treating this like it's fucking high school and wondering why we're not winning. We're taking on trillionaires. You have fucking trillionaires here, and we're worrying about what fucking YouTuber you like. You have trillionaires, and you fight about what my YouTuber said this. Yeah, but my YouTuber said this. Until I see documentation on anything, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Guess how much Lou was wrong on? Oh yeah, every fucking time the guy spoke. And what did I do? Half my videos are about how wrong Lou was on every fucking subject. Because what would he do? He would look at my videos, he would not even understand half the shit, and then he'd go fuck it up and present it. And you would all eat it up. Oh, Lou says this. Yeah, I said it 10 months ago. I said, you guys, it's crazy. We cannot worry about YouTube. All that fucking posse shit. I hang out in this clique. I hang out with this clique. That's got to go. We're adults here. Are we not adults at this point? Like, what the fuck's going on, dude? Christ, man. Like I said, you got people that literally will look at somebody, and I don't like, God, who's somebody that's hated? Okay, whoever's a hated influencer. I mean, here's the thing. You guys all know I was not a massive fan of a couple of YouTubers. I put out a video, and I look back at it, and I looked at how I handled the movement, and for 6-7 months, I didn't charge. I didn't turn ad revenue on. I didn't do super chats, anything. I'm older. I'm 30 fucking 4 years old. I have a company. I'm established. I've worked my ass off to get where I am. I put in a fuck ton of hours to get where I am. I hold myself to a certain standard, and just because I looked at it and said to myself, hey, the way I'm handling it, other YouTubers should. They're younger than me. They're not at that point in life to where I can hold them to their standards. Like, I look at Trey. A lot of people look at Trey. Put yourself in Trey's shoes for a second. I mean, literally step back for a second. All emotion aside, take a step back. And I'm not. I mean, it goes to any of these guys. Like I said, I give them all a hard time because I fucking hated how all these people, hey, you did this money, you made money off it, why we didn't. And it seems like none of them give a fuck. And I still feel that way. I feel like some of these guys should still fucking do so much more than they do. But a lot of them are young as fuck. They're in their 20s. Could you imagine if you were in your 20s? Imagine, I don't care how old you are. Maybe you are in your 20s. Imagine if suddenly you woke up and within a matter of a week, you had hundreds of thousands of followers. You had hundreds of thousands of people hang on every word you say. I don't have that many followers. I mean, I have a lot of followers. Like, it blows my mind. I have about, I don't even know. I have like 34,000 on Twitter, which is fucking insane to me. And I get a glimpse of what it's like for these guys. I have 34,000, which is a lot. But you got people like Trey who has hundreds of thousands of followers. Now that's just followers that hang on every word he says. Now you have hundreds of thousands of trolls that are trying to set you up. On top of that, the kid's in the military. You got all these things. You got life. He's just learning where he wants to be in his career. I'm established in my career. Like I said, I have my company. I've loved coding my entire life. I've loved SQL. I love what I can do behind a computer, and that's why I do the DD I do. But just because that it's weird for me to stick up for YouTubers, but like I said, I'm trying to grow up too in this situation. We all need to fucking grow up in this situation and look at it differently. Stop looking at the same shit from a year ago. Stop looking at this like, fuck, I hate these guys. Like I said, do I like Matt Kors? Am I telling you to go fucking watch Matt Kors and go watch The Line? And fuck no. Am I ever going to go, if I met him in real life, am I going to be his best friend? No, but I don't need to. But what I am not going to do anymore is cut these people off because I had a different of opinions from the kid on how I feel he should have handled his life. In the end of the day, it's a free country. But like I said, it's up to us in the end of the day. It's up to each one of you to follow the right people. It's up to each one of you. I can't hold them accountable for them blowing up either. Like I said, it's on account of us too. Each one of you can stop talking to Charles Gasparino. Each one of you can stop watching certain YouTubers. Each one of you can stop going to their sites and commenting how you hate them. Who cares? They know you do. They get it. We've all get it. I get the same shit. This is why I'm saying it. I get the same shit. You guys don't think I get people all the time? Oh, I hate your info. I hate how you sit there and make me feel bad all the time. Everything you show me sucks. It's all gloomy. It's all bad information. You make me feel we're never going to squeeze. I'm not here to show you that we're not going to squeeze. You guys, think about it this way. If I was in it for YouTube, I'm transparent with you guys 1,000. I'm as transparent with you guys as we all want the SEC to be. I'll show you right now what I've made on YouTube in my entire life. I don't give a fuck. Here you go, you guys. Here's how much I made on YouTube. Where the fuck is it? Hold on. Oh, Alex, sorry. It shows you how often I look at it. I don't even know where the fuck to go. Here you go. Here's my lifetime YouTubes. So in 15 months that I have put in
20,000 hours. There you go. There's my YouTube. I don't make shit doing this. I do it because I want the world to change. I'm not going to get into my personal shit about what's happened in my life, but I've been affected. I've lost people from events, and this is why I do this. Like I said, I don't sit there and make content for fucking money. So if I tell you I believe this is going to squeeze, it's because all of my research has shown me this is going to squeeze. I don't do it for a fucking... Think about this. That's how much I've made. If I was in it for money, I'm making about 12 pennies. I'm making about a penny an hour. Not even. Would you guys put in 20,000 hours for a penny an hour? No. Clearly, I believe in the cause. That is my point of showing you this. Like I said, I'm not trying to show you information to scare you. I'm showing you, hey, you guys, this is how they're fucking you, but this is how we can fix it. Like I said, that's it. That's all I want to show you guys. I want this shit to fucking end, dude. Now, the other fuckers that are milking you and watching you, telling you to watch a fucking stream all day on watching the line that they tell you not to watch, guess what they do? They make this in a day. They make this in a month. Like I said, it's completely up to you guys on who we get rich and what we do. You need to hold yourselves accountable, because that's the one thing that I never see in this movement. Nobody takes accountability for their own actions for when they're wrong. It's, all right, go fuck yourself, or, oh, I'll block you, or, oh, well, fuck, I'll just keep calling you an idiot, or make you say, like I said, I'll just attack you personally. It's just like, Christ, you guys, it's okay. We can be wrong. We can move on. Like I said, we got to just fucking come together at this point. It's been a year. We need to move on. We need to start taking these steps. I'm not saying I'm always right, but do you guys not notice at this point it's been, 15 months? Think about this. In January, I was the first Redditor. Think about this. I was the first Redditor in January to talk about dark pools. The first one. Nobody knew about dark pools until I talked about them. Guess what? A month later, dark pools were all the rage. Nobody knew about OTC market. None of you guys knew about payment for order flow until I brought up payment for order flow. Guess what? 2 months later, everybody talked about payment fucking for order flow. The ISDA banks. All of a sudden, ISDA's coming up left and right. You guys are seeing. We've been talking about ISDA for fucking months. Now you're seeing ISDA's coming up again. ISDA problems. The banks. Everything's being related to the banks. Everybody's a couple months behind. So that's why I'm saying in 2-3 months, everybody will hopefully move out of ISDA, and we'll see that happen. But like I said, we got to just follow the information. The problem is a lot of the times we have the information out there, or there's people that spend a ton of time of DD, not just me. There are so many smarter apes out there than me that people don't even know about. You guys have no idea how... I could literally go through this... You guys, I get so many DMs, it's ridiculous in a day. We can go through my DMs, and I promise you... Oh, I'm trying to get to it all, you guys. Like I said, I'm running a company. I have a wife. I have a kid. Like, I have shit, guys. Like, I wish I could be more active. I do. I have a family. Like I said, I'm trying to be as active as I possibly can. And like I said, I'm not getting paid to do this, as you guys can see. So, I mean, like I said, you guys, like I said, I'm all about this community. I'm all about us winning. We need to fucking win, man. We need a win, man. Fuck. We need a win. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, shit's fucking nuts, bro. Fucking corruption, bro. Shit's fucking insane. It never fucking ends, dude. It's ridiculous. But their own fucking game. But like I said, why do I believe we will squeeze? Because in the end of the day, I will show you 1,000% why I think the squeeze will happen and how. No matter what. Like I said, Adam Aaron doesn't need to worry about this. All I want Adam Aaron doing is doing as much as he possibly can to make AMC as profitable as... Think about it. If AMC is making... Think about it this way. They control the media, right? If AMC is killing it for 4 straight quarters. Let's say 4 straight quarters. They're killing it. They're killing it. They're killing it. They're killing it.
Hell yeah, the Vikings, dude. I live in Minnesota, man. But anyways, let's say they're killing it. What can you write? What kind of an article can you write? You see what I'm saying? There's nothing they can say. Oh, AMC's had its best fucking quarter in 10 years. What are you gonna say? In the end of the day, this is why I think no matter what, we will squeeze. No matter what, a MOAS will happen. Okay, right now, our situation at hand. You have the Federal Reserve, okay? Federal Reserve, fucking right there. Bankers. Sorry, these boxes are fucking atrocious. Bankers. Politicians. Sorry, it's taking forever to fucking write. Alright, so you got the politicians. Below that, you got the regulators. Now, this is just stock related because obviously, and I believe this in real life too, non-stock related, if you come over here, this is honest to God what I believe. Right fucking here. You think that, the politicians and shit are in charge of the police, but truly, I believe the banks and the Federal Reserve are running them and the Fed. So fucking, you got, FBI, you got your fucking police, well, right over here, your police, the people who should be fucking policing this shit and should be arresting these douchebags, I believe are all ran by the same fucking, the bankers. Now, what's going on right now is you have banks, and then, alright, so look at this, and then above that, so down here, what we're seeing, you have a bank, you have a market maker, you have a hedge fund, and you have a broker. Alright, now. Alright, now. So, what's going on is you have banks on the side, and they're writing ISDA contracts. This is why I bring up ISDA every time I talk. Because in the end of the day, ISDA is what's going to take it down, okay? These ISDA contracts are a rich person, okay? You have a super rich person, you have a billionaire borrowing from pretty much a trillionaire because you got the banks, okay? So you have a rich person borrowing from a richer person, right? Now, the way people get richer is they don't like to have loans out, okay? They don't like to have their money sitting there unless it's making them more money, okay? Now, for a while there, while the banks are sitting there making money off their money, they'll keep borrowing this. Well, when these guys all start losing money, while we sit there and fucking buy and hold, because in the end of the day, you have to look at Citadel here. Okay, Citadel, I'm not going to pull it up. All right, we already know. Citadel has 65 billion, right? They had 65 billion in Rule 203B, which means fill before locate, okay? So they're able to fill orders before locate. They actually have a share. So they have 65 billion shares in Rule 203B, and that's at, we're going to do this in quotes, because who the fuck knows what that means, fair market, or fair value, wait, and whoever the fuck, so basically, we know for a fact, it's, in reality, the 65 billion, the only reason why it's phrased at fair value is so that they can lower what the true total is. So in other words, they probably short, fuck, who knows, dude, this is in the trillions, let's just be real. Maybe not fucking trillions, who knows, it probably is. But it's way in the hundreds of billions, okay? You have hundreds of billions, for sure, in reality. But in the end of the day, we know when shit's squeezing, because if they had to pay it back during squeezes, you're talking trillions. These fuckers have trillions in shares, all right? And that's just in 203B. That's not even counting ISDA and the other thing. Now, these bankers are losing money. You got the right up here, you got the Federal Reserve bailing them out every fucking day in bailouts, in reverse repos.
You got them also bailing them out every single day in fucking mortgage-backed securities. Why? Because they don't want the tranches attached to those that are inside of ISDA, which also have credit default swaps attached to them still inside of ISDA. But what they also did to hedge themselves and make money on the crash is they opened up naked credit default swaps. And then on top of that, so fucking stupid. And then on top of that, you have the bond market, which they put all of that money into Russia, and they're going to take billions and hit on that. So you got the bond market, which is about to smash down. Where the hell is... Okay, so now you have banks. All right. You got banks that are going to be just like, dude, where is it? I think Goldman. No, I think it was JP Morgan. JP Morgan and Chinese bonds. I wish Boss Blunts was in here for a second. He noticed in like a half a second. All right. No, it wasn't them. It was somebody else. I think it was Goldman. You have a bank that's about to get railed in these. They're taking billions in hits. So you got banks getting hit inside bond market, losing money. Well, they're still kind of making money on these ISDA contracts for now. But what we have on these ISDA contracts, and the only reason they're making money on this, and I'm going to show you how I believe ISDA is going to come to a crash, okay? You have what is called Phase 6. I'm going to show you how they get away with this stuff. I'm going to show you everything, okay? So here you go. Phase 6 is what we've needed forever. The way that they get away with this shit, okay? So, inside of ISDA, this is how an ISDA agreement works, okay? And this is what Phase 6 is. Now, Phase 6, all right, so you got ISDA, Phase 6. All right, now, you have either, now this is an agreement, okay? So you either have a banker or you have a hedge fund, okay? Now, on this side, you're going to have a massive banker. Now, you guys remember when I showed you right away when you first started this. So, pretty much when you look at ISDA. All right, here you go. So, what you're going to have here is you see you got primary members and associate members. What's going to happen here is you're going to have a primary member, a primary ISDA member, okay? They're going to write an ISDA contract with an associate member or any type of those. Or even a larger hedge fund. Now, that master agreement, when they write this, okay, the way here, let me show you this here quick. This will make it so much easier for you guys to understand. It's not even funny. Here, watch this. Now, so when we do contracts, okay, when you guys open up contracts, it takes a path that goes through the OCC, so it's cleared by the government. It gets, everything is in order here. It gets, let me pull this up. It goes through the CNS program. Hold on. Phase 6. Here you go. All right, now.
This is the phases chart
So-
right now.
So for phase
So currently, you don't have to have any.
I don't want you guys. Sorry about that. Give me 2 seconds here. All right. So when you come down to phase 6 here. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. It's okay. So here you go. The way that our options take. Okay, so what inside of these master agreements are called flex options, married puts. So, okay, so this is a master agreement, okay? I'll make this very simple. I know I'm pushing it all together. Give me 2 seconds to write this out, okay? So, inside of this, you're going to have flex options, okay? Married puts, buy rights. Okay, now, as you guys can see here on this chart, where the hell did it just go? Okay, so when we write options and when we, when a market maker writes an options with us, it goes like this. So we buy the option, it goes through our broker, it goes through the CBOE exchange, and then it's cleared by the OCC, which is backed by our government. Now, when you do a master agreement,
through ISDA, it does not go through the CBOE exchange. It does not go through the OCC. It's backed by the banker. So basically, the bank has 100% power. So instead of it taking this route, it takes this route. So what this here is going to be the person writing or buying the agreement, okay? They're going to go up through this route. So they're going to go to a person who can write the agreement. It's going to get cleared through ISDA, so we don't see this information, and then it gets posted. So it doesn't get backed by the government. So the person who clears this is the banker, okay? So the bank, not only do they write it, they make sure that it's all cleared and everything's all good to go, okay? Conflict of interest much? It's a complete joke. Clearly, the banks, just like with family offices in Huang, they accept everything even if they're over leveraged, because why? The bankers are going to make money. So what they're trying to do is make sure it's just a complete joke. So anyways, now when you do this, you have a guy who's going to come up there. They're going to write the master agreement with this. So you're going to have a banker who's going to write their terms. They're going to write the master agreement. Then they're going to clear it themselves and go, yeah, everything's fine, because what's going to happen is this guy is going to, he doesn't have to deposit collateral at all. So he can sit there and do master agreement after master agreement after master agreement. It's like an infinite glitch, okay? They're doing this infinite glitch with these master agreements, and they're using the same exact collateral on each one of these master agreements. So you'll have a master agreement. You'll have 10 master agreements, but they all use collateral 1, collateral 1, collateral 1, collateral 1. Because all these need to show is that they have the ability, or they have the funds. They don't actually have to deposit the funds. They just need to show that they have it. Well, they'll sit there and do the same one over and over and over so they can open master agreement after master agreement after master agreement and make synthetics. And this is why everybody goes, how can they control the flow? How can they control everything? They can control it just like that. They make unlimited synthetic shares like this. Now, what's going to happen in phase 6? This will change everything. When phase 6 comes, instead of taking that route I showed you, hold on, let me pull up I just got to pull this up. I'm getting lost every time here. I have way too many tabs open. All right, so instead of it taking that route, all right. So what you're going to have now is what takes this route, you're going to have a third party, okay? So what it's going to do now is you're going to have a bank writing a master agreement with a banker, a hedge fund, or a market maker. You're going to now have a third party oversee the transaction, which is what didn't happen before. So literally before, what could happen, like I said, you'd have a bank write unlimited master contracts. Then what did they do with them? I showed you guys. They'd burn them in a fire. They would just burn them in a fire. Why? Because the bank, they'd write them on paper, they would approve it, and then they'd throw them in a fucking cabinet somewhere. They'd show that the shares were there, and then they'd just fucking cabinet this shit, and then burn it to the fucking ground so nobody knew it was there. Well, what phase 6 is going to do is they're going to have somebody oversee this. So there'll now be somebody, so these fires are going to stop, okay? They're not going to be able to keep doing this bullshit. Who's supposed to be used right now, who's voted to see it, is going to be the SEC, okay? They're going to now oversee the transaction. On top of that, it gets even fucking better. This is where it becomes huge. Now, remember with each one of these master agreements, I told you they needed a credit support annex. Okay, I just looked at the chat. I had 276 in super chats. Holy fuck, people. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All that's going to go to my mom. She has 1 more week of treatment, everyone. Some good news. So I'll be turning super chats off pretty soon. So like I said, all that goes to a treatment. So honest, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. But we'll go back to this real quick. So like I said, thank you so much. The master agreements. I got all flushed. I can't remember what the hell I was talking about. Oh, yeah. All right. So now you got the credit support annex. Okay. They're going to have to deposit now minimum $250K, okay, per master agreement. So instead of having an infinite money glitch, right, instead of having an infinite share glitch, they're going to have to deposit money. And that's what's huge. They're going to have to deposit money in a little account. And this little account will now be monitored by the SEC, okay? It will have to have that deposit amount, that collateral amount inside it at all times. So each time they open a master agreement now, instead of doing this and it costs them $0, it's going to cost them $250K or 10%, or 10% of the agreement is what most banks will charge per contract. So they can't sit there and open up agreement, and boom. That's huge for us, man. That is massive. Like I said, phase six is going to start fucking the banks up. Phase 6 is, I told you guys a year ago, one of my first videos. Look at this. Literally my first video. My second video. I talk about ISDA phase 5 and phase 6 and how excited I am about phase 6. And it's the one that's going to do it for us all. Like I said, you guys, this phase 6 is the biggest thing in my eyes that can come. Like I said, for the CAT system's nice. The CAT system is an auditing system. For people that don't know what, so the CAT system comes in July 1st, okay? And the CAT system, I'll do a quick teach on the CAT system. It's sweet for us. And the fact that it hasn't actually been in place before it is ridiculous. So you used to have what was called the O system. This thing was a pile of shit. It was like 20 years old, 30 years old. It was like 30-year-old system, okay? It was a 30-year-old auditing system. So they didn't even fucking pretty much audit anything. And on top of that, 90% of it was self-regulation. It was all self-auditing, like self-reporting. This is how they got away with so much shit in the stock market. Because obviously you could just sit there and, like I said, I could do anything I wanted. Self-report my numbers. Just a joke. On top of that, they had so many exclusions and outdated rules that are now actually getting canceled out with this CAT system here. So if you come down here, I actually made a video here. These are some big things here that are coming out. So one of the things that this CAT system is going to do. Why the hell would this come up? Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. All right. So one of the things that this is going to do is it's going to start eliminating a lot of these market maker exclusions. That is huge. Because the reason, the problem, one of the things a lot of people hear, you hear the word, and I'm gonna tell you what this word really fucking truly means. You hear the word liquidity a lot. Everything adds liquidity. The reason that we do this is because it adds liquidity to the market. And in reality, what that means, we have no shares, but we don't want the Ponzi scheme to end. So they don't want the Ponzi scheme to end, so we made fake shares. We made fake shares that we hope don't FTD. Now, one of the things I want to show you guys, because this, I want to resonate and sink in with you guys. So in 2008, I know you guys, if you're watching this, you've probably seen the movie The Big Short, right? In The Big Short, he said they knew exactly what they were doing, and they fucking, like I said, they do. The reason why he said that is because at the time when they did the tranches, okay, when they were making all this stuff, the main reason why they did that is because they thought they could get away with it no matter what. Why? Because at the time they thought the housing market was too big to fail. This is huge. This is a huge portion of why they do this, you guys. into their train of thought. Why they think they can get away with this, and why, oh man, why they call this dumb money, retail dumb money. In 2008, the housing market can't fail. It's too big. Nobody's gonna default on their fucking loans. Nobody's gonna not pay their fucking mortgage. Blah blah blah. And then you come over to the stock market now in 2022, and guess what? It's the same thing. The stock market is not only too big to fail, but not only is it too big to fail, we can cheat and we control it, so we won't let it fail. That was their train of thought. We can control it so it's impossible to fail. They can never figure this out, the Ponzi scheme, and they can never catch us in the Ponzi scheme. So everybody that thought they learned their lesson, they literally did the same exact thing. They're still to securitization. They're still too big to fail. They're still doing credit default swaps, but instead of CDOs, they switched it with fucking naked credit default swaps. They're still using ISDA. It's still the banks causing everything, and they're still doing it because they think the stock market is too big to fail because they control the Ponzi scheme, and they'll never let it fail because they control the regulators, they control the politicians, and they control the price action, and they control the market makers. So they believe that they can't ever get caught, and that is how they got into the situation that they are in today. Now, I'm going to keep talking about a whole bunch of shit, but I feel like I've covered 12 billion things, and I haven't... Holy fuck, I just checked the chat. Jesus, guys, I've made $400 in Super Chat, so much from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, thank you. That's crazy, guys. I feel like I definitely need to answer questions or something for a little bit before I keep going, because next thing I'm going to get into is a whole bunch of manipulation here in this next tab. And then actually, let's get into the voting quick. But before we get into that, anyone have any questions at all about anything? Anyone have any questions before I keep going? Otherwise, we'll get into let's go into the voting quick here. Let's get into some more AMC stuff before we keep getting into manipulation and stuff. All right. I'm not seeing many. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to go back and forth. I'll pay way more attention. Yeah, I mean, the executive order that's going to do a lot of stuff to it. Those bankers in there. Where is... Oh, I don't have my sketch pad. Hold on, let me find my sketch pad before I get into the executive order. One of these 20,000 tabs here. Phase 6 is going to be September 1st of this year. So, a couple more months, and the CAT system starts in July. But, for the CAT system also, by the way. So, the CAT system is why the OAT system is why the SEC pretty much can't do anything. They're unable to audit everything. They're so far behind. The CAT system is supposed to correct this. One of the main things that the CAT system is going to do is it's going to add to each trade from the beginning, the middle, and the end of each trade. It's going to add the customer ID, a timestamp, and not only that, it's going to add a route ID. And what that route ID is going to do is it's going to show them which venue it took. So if it took a dark pool, it'll know what dark pool. If it was internalized, it'll be attached on the trade. So the SEC at that point will be able to see exactly where a trade went from start to finish. And that to me is a massive, massive thing. So, like I said, if they're trying to, spoof, if they're trying to ladder attack, the SEC, in my eyes, after July, has no excuse to not be able to see that. Because this auditing system will show them the venue, the timestamp, and then on top of that, it's going to have the EIN number. So we'll have either the broker ID number, or it will have the broker ID number, or the market maker ID number, or it'll have the hedge fund ID number. So that's massive. And then on top of that, it's going to have It's going to have the customer ID attached to the name and the broker ID, so they'll know exactly what broker is fucking with who. And on top of that, for the first time, because it's going to have a customer ID and a broker ID attached, they will know, the SEC will finally, for the first time starting July, know who the fuck is holding what shares, because your customer ID and broker ID will be attached to the shares inside of your account. Now, the downside to this will start 4 trades after July 1st. July 1st trades are not being tracked. So everything we've done up to this point has not been tracked. Unfortunately, other than through the OAT system, which was deactivated, it's now being tracked through the CAT test phase. But like I said, it's not up and running, so it's not fully tracking customer IDs yet. If you guys look, I believe customer ID... Yeah, customer ID is attached in July. So right now, the SEC doesn't technically know who's holding what. But at the same time, like I said, nothing but good shit there on the CAT system and Phase 6. So like I said, Phase 6, the infinite is the master agreement glitch is gone, is the Phase 6. It will now start them to create synthetics. It will now start to cost them money instead of not cost them anything. Like I said, this is the big difference with Phase 6. This is a massive difference. Instead of them being able to create money out of thin air, create shares out of thin air and profit off of those, then pay them back, they are now going to have to deposit shares. They can't create them out of thin air. They have to deposit money to create those shares. Huge, huge, huge step, you guys. Like I said, that is when I'm thinking a lot of this shit's going to start going down. Now, let's see here. I like to look at... So, before we get into some more stuff here quick, let's quickly talk about... Let's go over the... I kind of want to go over the voting material with you guys, if you guys want to go over the AMC vote real quick. A lot of people were looking at this, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys my opinions. I might change from what's on the screen, but I'm going to show you guys all the information. I'm not going to sit there and, like I said, don't worry about what I have you here. My votes might be different too. But let's just go through each thing. Me personally, number 1. If you like Adam Aaron, I love Adam Aaron. I love everything he's done for it. I love how he communicates with retail. He does more than a lot of people think, and I hate how people compare Adam Aaron to Ryan Cohen, who is not, once again, is not GameStop's CEO. If you want to know who GameStop CEO is, Google it quick and go, how much has he interacted with you? Exactly. I'm not going to give you his name. I want you guys to Google it. That's how we learn. We have to take steps towards doing things on our own as well. So, Phase 6 is September 1st. Let's see. Let me go up through the chat real quick before we get into the vote. Let me just look, make sure anyone didn't ask any questions. As if you can't find their own rectum, no, they cannot. SEC is fucking, they're pretty worthless right now. Let's see if I have any questions. If you guys had a question and I didn't respond to it yet or read it, just ask it real quick. I must not have seen it. And then we'll get into the vote quick and look at everything. Vote on subject 3 does not matter, Tony said. You guys, I saw that as well. I can't remember where the fuck I did see that as well. They don't care if we say yes or no. They're still going to give themselves that raise. Let's be real. I'm going to say no to the raise because, in my eyes, give it to the fucking employees, dude. You know what I'm saying? You guys are rich. You guys are fine. You guys made money. Phase 6 is in September 1st. Phase 6 is September 1st, everybody. All right. Number 1, I'm going to say yes. I like Adam Aaron, what he's done. Number 2, I'm saying yes. If you guys actually pull this guy up and look at his information, he's been in the industry. He's been in the movie business for a fucking long time. Not only that, he's been with AMC since 2014. And if you look at the moves in AMC's history since 2014, I like what they did. He's also, like I said, he's produced a shit ton. He's got great connections. He's worked with a ton of industries. I mean, this guy knows his shit. He's been with it for 30 years. So for me, he's a complete yes. Plus, he was here when they did the IPO. When they did a lot and they initiated their 5 steps. When they did a lot of great things, he was here. He was involved in them. Kathleen Paulsus, whatever the fuck her name is. We're gonna get into her in a second. Now, because she's involved in number 2. Now, or number whatever the fuck this is. All right, Anthony Sayach. This guy is a definitely yes for me. And this guy is somebody that we should honestly be excited to have on the board. I mean, this dude's smarter than fuck, dude. This guy, main speaker at Harvard. If you look at his background on here, dude, like he's fucking. This dude's like the man. If you want an intelligent guy working for you, look at this dude. Internal Affairs. He's a professor at Harvard. English China policy fucking program. He's the U.S. Secretary General of the United States. Like I said, dude, this dude knows his shit. PhD, like he's smart. He gets a fucking 8 thumbs up on my part. Now, the interesting stuff. Let's get into the good stuff here. The fucking staffing agency here. Numbers. So, let me find my tab. There's a lot of corruption tied to the Big Four. They are a lot of corruption tied to this shit. We'll get into this in a second. Where is it? This one. Give me 1 second. God damn, I'm so unorganized right now. What the hell? God, I got way too many fucking tabs open, bro. And we're gonna get into we're gonna get into some more shit too, because there's a whole bunch of more corruption here. I'm gonna show you guys, and it's a fucking joke. It all leads back into Toys R Us and the SEC, and then this Carl Hacker. God, this guy's a fucking trash. The SEC's a piece of shit. This is that guy I was talking about, this Carl guy. He's just a fucking tool, corrupt trash, and he's retiring, so that's good for us too. I mean, there's so much garbage. I can't believe how deep this swamp is. It's just trash. And you got Bain Capital. Bain Capital is a fucking joke. Mitt Romney's all up in that shit. Like, dude, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Nazi propaganda. And like I said, no matter what, guys, never stop talking about this fucking Ministry of Truth. You guys should be twittering that shit every day. Like, that's the scariest shit I've ever heard in my life. Now, hell did I put that? All right, here we go. We finally found it. All right, now, the next one on there talks about Ernest Young LLP as the company's independent registry public accounting firm here. Now, if you guys pull up, I just write Ernest Young manipulation, and then next time I like to write Google, Ernest and Young fucking fines, Ernest and Young violations, Ernest and Young lawsuits. You like to pull up all the good stuff. That's where all the information's truly at. So if you come look at all this stuff, you'll notice that they have a shit ton of lawsuits against them, but at the same time, they seem to be a lot of the corrupt, shitty companies. But Ernest Young is one of the big 4 accounting firms. Like I said, you can pull up the other big 4 accounting firms, and you're going to find manipulation across the board. But if you pull it up here, you got, like I said, I could put these links in here if you guys want to read this stuff, because they have like in-depth fucking into their manipulation and into the corruption, like in fucking depth looking into this stuff. They got wire fraud. I mean, they did some bad shit. You got more auditing partners getting misconduct, $5 billion. I mean, they're sitting there. They were doing some bad shit. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Yeah, but as you guys can see, they clearly have past violations, past manipulation, past problems. And that's the thing. One of the things I do in life, or the first thing I do with this, because it's so hard. I mean, you guys know it, how I am. I mean, you got to feel the same way. It's so hard to trust anything, anyone, all these fuckers. It just seems like everyone's out to just fuck us, dude, and then smile while they do it. So it's the first thing I always like to do is are they doing problems? And if they are, it's like I already sit there and it's like, well, what are they doing? Are they doing something to AMC? Are they not doing something to AMC? Well, guys, look at this. So I mean, you got the corruption there. Well, if you guys look at this, fuck she go. If you look at this Kathleen lady on the board, this is where she came from. She's from this. So if you guys don't like this partner, she's a retired partner of these people. I mean, I've talked to people who work in accounting, and they say, don't necessarily sit there and take a couple accounting or a couple people and put them in with an entire organization. So I mean, if you want to sit, like I said, it's hard for me to say because obviously you got red flags there. You got red flags with the company in my eyes. But I also talk to people that say, switching accounting firms could hurt AMC as a company, and that's never okay with me. I don't want to sit there. They might lose out on opportunities. They might, while their books are on the side. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with that or throw AMC off the course if we change accounting firms, which is why they said yes. So I end up saying, in the end of the day, yes, there's corruption there with the company, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there is corruption with the individuals working at AMC. And with the headache and the problems that it could cause AMC as a company, I don't truly believe that it's worth switching. So I put yes for that as well. Now, for the say's pay, give themselves a raise, I said no. Why? Because if you actually look at the numbers and you pull up AMC's executives and you look at my buddy Ryan here. Ryan Riggs, great guy, always good information. Also highly recommend following him as well. If you look here, he actually wrote that they are getting, and he shows his numbers here. That's why I don't want to, like I said, I always like to show you guys the numbers before I yeah, okay. Give me a second here. But either way, they're getting 3,500% a higher pay than their workers. And it's like, at this point, why don't we start passing that down? Instead of the fat cats getting a bigger raise, being able to sell off more shares, blah, 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 why don't you give it to some of your hard workers? You know what I mean? Let's give it to them instead, man. They're going through the real struggles. They're the ones that are getting hit with inflation while you guys, like I said, I don't hate the AMC board for selling. I mean, like I said, I get it. I've watched GME people do it. If you guys think AMC's board's the only board of directors in the market selling, Google how many people are selling. Insiders are selling like more than ever before this year. I can't find it. So it's like, it's not just AMC. So people that sit there and just take it to heart to AMC, it's because you're emotional. You're invested in this play. You got to look educationally at stuff. Like I said, you can't just sit there and go, well, fuck them. They did that. But like I said, I'm not against them getting it. I'm against putting that money towards not towards your workers, your employees. I feel like, fuck, give them a health package, better benefits, give them something. Without the workers, in the end of the day, none of this shit's possible. You guys can come up with all the good ideas, but unless they're not fully executed, your staff, everything's not up to par, guests aren't gonna come. Like I said, man, every single time I look at this stuff, or when I pull up Twitter, there's one person I follow, and I understand why people say when they look at my Twitter, when they look at stuff I post, it upsets them. And I truly understand it. I get it. Because there's one person that I watch that when he posts information, it upsets me because it's like, holy fuck. All the time he posts, it's just like, hey, this CEO made record profits. I can't find him.
Of course. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm in the wrong fucking thing. And of course I can't find it. I'll find him later. But yeah, all he does is post CEOs all day long. The numbers the CEO makes, some of the numbers CEO makes, and every single time it's like, all right, they made 350% to 5,000% more than their average worker. And then people go, well, fucking, this is my point. This is why I was telling everybody, everyone that was so against raising minimum wage, amazing minimum wage is bad. People need to stop working at Starbucks, stop working at this. Okay, imagine if there was no fast food restaurants, all those people you hate. Imagine if they didn't work at fast food restaurants. Because trust me, working at a fast food restaurant, I did it when I was fucking 18 to 20. Shit's fucking hard, dude. Even if you haven't worked in one, trust me, that gets stressful as fuck, dude. They can get crazy, man. It's an honest day's work, whether you want to think so or not, man. You raise the minimum wage, you raise the bar for everybody. Everyone. Why? Because if you're sitting there also the minimum wage guy's working at McDonald's is making $15 and you're making 18 to 20, now you go up to your boss and say, hey, what the fuck? I'm only making $5 more than this guy. Why did I pay for a college education? And then we start demanding pay increases, and that's how it happens. Like I said, you got to raise minimum wage. You got to stop fighting. Think about how the government, Republicans, all these guys, stop telling them to be fucking lazy. Those weren't jobs made for careers. Go to college. Fuck college. What the fuck do I need college for? You want to know what's funny? And if you know me and if you watch my research, I promise you, like I said, you're going to believe this story. It's fucking true. There's nothing not to believe. When I first got into computer coding, I never opened a SQL code in my life. I never knew what the fuck it was. I never heard of HTML. I never heard of JavaScript. I never heard of C#. I never heard of any of this stuff. And I applied for a job in coding. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I applied for a job, and my cousin worked there. And just because my cousin went there, I literally went into my interview and I told him, I don't know a fucking single thing. I don't know anything. I can't write you a sentence if you wanted me to. They still hired me. And guess what? I sat there and I researched my ass off with Google alone. And now I'm one of the execs of the company. I'm one of the highest up top developers in the company. And I didn't go to fucking school. I didn't go to college. I Googled my entire education. I Googled every single thing. And then the beautiful thing is, if you don't know it, you can Google the code and find out. Like I said, to me, do you need college? Or can you just learn something on the job? Yes, in situations, of course there's situations where you probably should need college. If your job's going to involve life or death situations with somebody, yes. Yeah, if you're a doctor, you should probably go to fucking college and not learn on the job. But there's so many aspects of life where you don't need fucking college. It wasn't even necessary. But they tell you it. The system designed it. All right, you need to have it because that's how it is. Or you're going to not make that wage because, again, they don't want people independent and they want you in debt through college. They want you in debt. Why do they want you in debt in every way? Why do they want you in debt where you're not making anything in the banks, but you're making more? Because right here. Do you notice that every way to ever get ahead in life, you need to take out astronomical debt to where you either can't recover or you're paying it off for 10, 15, 20 years. There are two ways to conquer and enslave a country or a nation. One is by the sword, the other is by debt. They're going to hit you with this fucker because they can't do the sword like China. They can't do the sword like Russia. Guess what? They're doing the same shit as the Nazis. I just showed you it. They're literally doing the ministry of fucking truth. What the fuck's the difference? Oh, instead of them holding a gun to my face, they have me be in debt so much that either they have you so in debt sometimes that you hold the gun to your own face because you see no way out. It's the same thing. Like I said, it's the same shit. They want you so indebted, you cannot get out of the web. You can't break the system, the cycle. This is modern day slavery. And I'm not going to say that because it's not even comparable. Like,
We get to go home. We get to play video games. We get to go do jobs. It's nothing. It's not my. It's what they went through is insane. But it's you are second class citizens to the United States in the United States. All of us. There's them and then there's us. They live by a different set of laws, and you want me to prove it? Ready? You want me to prove that they live by a different set of laws? Here you go. There it is, right there in fucking writing. They live by a different set of laws because they're rich. I'm going to tell you something right now. When the laws are only fines, the system is only there to punish the poor who cannot pay them. Plain and simple, that's it. If I can commit a crime and steal billions of dollars, you see this all the time. Look at that swimming kid. I mean, fuck. You got that kid that was in swimming. He sexually raped that girl, and his rich dad got him off. When money is what determines how you are judged in the court of law, that's a problem. That ministry of truth that I keep talking to you guys about, everything you're hearing me say right now, when it's fully established, will you still be able to hear this? Am I disinformation? Am I? Will my YouTube be canceled? I mean, truly, think about that. Will my YouTube be canceled? What are they going to do when I'm live telling you this shit right now? And like I said, it's fucking crazy. Joe Rogan, when Joe Rogan goes on and talks, instead of cancel culture coming on, fuck, we'll just ministry of truth them. Said you guys got to wake up to see what the shit that's coming. It's fucking scarier than hell. And now I'm going to really scare the shit out of you. Are you guys ready for this shit? You're going to have what we call the ministry of truth in place. Okay? And then what's going to happen here is the way that this is set up. You can already see today with that interview with the news lady. It's going to crash. It's going to collapse. We're right. When we are right, we will be vilified. Anything we say when we try to defend ourselves, prove it. It will be known as disinformation. And then you want to know what they're going to do to you guys right after that? Here we go. Now, after they sit there and they censor everything about what happened, they're going to introduce what is called a CBDC. Centralized digital banking currency. Now, the way money works is, this is why I keep telling you guys, get commodities, get this, get that. The way the money works right now, the USD, it's called a fiat currency. Fiat currency is going to be backed by the government. That's it. That's what backs it. Well, let's say that money is about to burn. Okay? Let's write this. What happens when a fiat currency collapses? Because what's going to happen, I already showed you, when we MOAS, when we do what the system is designed for us to do by playing the fucking rules, we will collapse the economy. That's it. They have stolen trillions and trillions and trillions. They will get fucked. Now, the US dollar might literally collapse on itself. Fiat currency will be worth nothing. Worthless. Fucking worthless. You will be able to burn it. Literally fucking burn it in fireplace. So what are they going to do?
first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a digital dollar. You're going to get rid of fucking, and then you're going to pull up the CBDCs, okay? Now, here's the problem. This is where it gets fucking scary. The people that have done the crash ever since the fucking country's been open will now be in charge of this money. Now, this is where it's different. This money will not be backed. Let me say this again. This money will not be backed by the government. It will be backed by the banks. Now think of how fucking scary that is. It will not be backed by the government. It will be backed by the fucking banks. Which means these exact words. Now, before I get into what this means, I'm going to read you something that will scare the fuck out of you. Ready for this? Now, you're going to now have the banks be in control and back the money 100%. Look at this. The Rothschild banks. Give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes its laws. From the Rothschild, founder of the Rothschild banking dynasty. So you're now going to give these banks who have collapsed your economy, destroyed your country, 100% control of the CBDC. Now, let's see how much more fun this gets. You're not going to be able to talk about this because anyone that talks about this will be Ministry of fucking Truth. Anytime you've getting denied from your own purchases, you will be Ministry of fucking Truth. If you come down and read about these bankers have the ability. Let's say you're going to the grocery store, okay? And you wanted to buy groceries, you're in line, you're sitting there, and you go to use your fucking card backed by the CBDC. It's programmable money. That bank, at that exact second, will review it. That bank can say, nope, you're not fucking eating money. You're not spending money. I don't approve this transaction. You're not fucking eating today. You want to buy something. You want to order something online. Guess what? You want to order some stocks, and they don't want you in that stock. No, they'll deny your fucking transaction, and you will not get that. They will control what you spend, how you spend it, and you know what they're going to say? They're going to say to every one of you guys, hey, you fuckers caused that financial collapse, just like that news lady. You guys caused that shit. You guys can't be put in control of your own money because you're your own worst enemies. Look, you caused it, and we have to control the money for you. That's where they're going. That's what they want to fucking do. They want to control everything and blame everyone but themselves. Think of how scary it would be if you have a digital dollar only, there's no currency in money, and there's no way to hold these banks accountable because the only fucking way to know how much of that money's in the world is through the fuckers who are corrupt as fuck. How do you know that data is right? How will we ever fucking truly know anything? And then if you ever discover a fucking thing, they will Ministry of Truth your fucking ass right out of existence. Fuck cancel culture. They'll just Ministry of Truth you. Cancel culture was just a warm-up for the Ministry of fucking Truth. It's like, holy fuck, guys. What is happening? Like I said, people sit there and try and tell me this is fucking... The United States democracy was not born on... This isn't democracy anymore. It's not. It's not the United States, the country you read about in fucking storybooks. It's not. It's controlled by the mafia. It's controlled by the 1%. They control the lobbyists. They control the politicians.
Because they have the lobbyists and the politicians, they control the laws. They control the feds. They control the police. You guys, they control judges. Are you guys paying attention to what these judges have been dropping? And guess what? They're suddenly richer right after. They're fucking judges taking bribes. And then anybody that talks about this shit and shows facts about these people taking bribes, guess what? They're going to be Ministry of Truth right out the fucking door. It's a monopoly. It's over a monopoly, dude. It's a corporate empire. A monopoly, you control one main area. They control fucking every... Think of how much BlackRock owns. Think of how much BlackRock owns. BlackRock owns everything. They're the number one. I mean, think about it. Monopoly, they're a monopoly in everything. They're the biggest player in every fucking field. They're the biggest. They're a monopoly. Not only do they have one monopoly, they have a monopoly in every fucking industry. Think about that. They're not one monopoly, they're 100 monopolies. Think about that. We have a fucking company that is worth 100 monopolies and nobody cares. We let them run the country. They're the main people Biden go to. Hey, you're the biggest monopoly in the world. But yeah, and the ones that don't fucking take it, they either mysteriously disappear, or guess what? They get reassigned. And another judge will take it, and then all of a sudden he takes the bribe. That's the problem. When you control everyone who controls the whole fucking system, what are you going to do? Like I said, it's a revolving fucking door. Right now, what you have going on, like I said, you have the fucking feds. You have the Federal Reserve. I mean, you guys, look at this shit. The reverse repos are what? $2 fucking trillion? $2 fucking trillion? You have the feds literally bailing them out with trillions in reverse repos. Trillions every fucking day. They're bailing them out in mortgage-backed securities. The Federal Reserve, the Fed, and the government are out to fuck you. It's a revolving door. The Fed's out to fuck you, and guess what else? The Feds can stop everything. They can control inflation. They can do everything. They can start putting money towards fucking right shit, but instead, fuck off. We'll fuck them more. Why? Because the more in debt our fucking citizens are, the more control and the more power we have. And if they ever wake up and overthrow it, guess what? It took 160 fucking people to start the American Revolution. 160 fucking people. 160 fucking people. That's it. We have 4 million plus, and that's an AMC. What the hell's GameStop have? What the fuck do you think we can do if we get off our computers and our fat asses? It took 160 fucking people. Oh, I'm sorry. 116. Even less. 116 people said, fuck this bullshit, and fucking did something about it. We have 4 million, and all we're doing is yelling at Adam Aaron to fucking stop it. We're yelling at fucking... No. Fuck them. Time to take shit back, man. Fuck them. Taxation without representation. These 116 people said, they're fucking taxing me, and they're not doing shit for me because they're enslaving me through fucking debt. And a world was changed. We have 4 million in AMC, millions in fucking GME. Let's say 2 million. Let's say we have 6 million retail. But you know what we're doing? That 6 million retail, you know what we're fucking doing? Instead of being big boys and girls and worrying about not being fucking represented by our fucking government, we're arguing about what somebody said on fucking Twitter. We're arguing about what YouTuber you like. That's what you're concerned about. We're concerned about fucking Kim Kardashian. Stupid fucking idiots like that. Stupid shit. I mean, what the fuck? Like I said, put the participation trophies down, dude. Put this fucking entitlement down, man. Like, we think because we're Americans, shit's just fucking owed to us, bro. Like, man, that fucking way of living back in the old days, man. Going out there working your ass off, doing that shit's gone, man. Standing up, like, fuck. Saying a word. Here's my thing. Think about this. Think about this. Think of how fucking truly pathetic this is. Think about this. All the time you hear people say, oh, freedom of speech is the greatest thing ever. Freedom of speech is the greatest thing ever. But yet the second somebody uses it, you get pissed off because you didn't like what they said. The second somebody uses it, you get offended because they said a word you didn't like. It's a fucking word. Guess what? Words have as much power as you give them. Period. You don't need to cancel somebody because you didn't like what they said. It's called blow it off and fuck them. Who gives a shit? Somebody doesn't like you. You guys think everyone likes me? You know how many people I've pissed off, honestly, when I go on my rants talking about how big a piece of shit people are? It's true, and it's fine, and it's okay. People can be pieces of shit. I cannot like somebody. You don't need to like me. But just because you don't like me, don't fucking not read my information that affects you. Don't be uneducated because you don't like fucking me. Who cares? This thing in the community that we're going to try and do, and I hope it fucking helps out, it's going to be, I think, very beneficial, is we're going to get as many of the YouTubers as we can. We're going to start holding a couple all-day space calls so everybody can come in, talk. People will host it. Matt Coors will be in there. I'll be in there. Me and him will fucking have a normal conversation because in the end of the day, do I like him? Am I going to fucking be his buddy after this? Are we going to hold hands and fucking skip down to my loo? No. I'm going to fucking hate the kid the same. But in the end of the day, I respect the fucker for holding and still being in this fucking play. You guys know how hard it is. Any one of us could have gave up at any point. So I'll at least give him the respect and the benefit of if he can bring something to the table, sweet. Who am I to cut him off for this moment? We're going to try and show everybody all of us can come together. And like I said, any of you guys want to ask questions, let's do it. Let's all educate. We have all the best minds we can find. Fuck. I said we gotta move past this. We gotta move past GameStop. GameStop elitist, AMC elitist. It's gotta go. Retail verse. Period. So there's nothing more important we can do than not only educate ourselves, but educate everyone else. Because even if let's say they don't buy AMC or GameStop, if you can show them how bad the situation is in the United States alone, if you could go back in 2008 and save people from losing everything, people killed themselves over this shit. People died. I know a person. See, the reason why I do this research is because of my uncle. My uncle lost everything. Everything. And I mean, it's not, I can't say he committed suicide. It's not proven. And obviously, this is something, like I said, I don't talk about shit like this. But after he lost everything, he had a motorcycle and he fucking drove off a mountain, a little hill. And like I said, man, that's why I fucking do this shit. That's why I don't care about money. I do it for my fucking uncle in the end of the day. Because this shit fucking matters. These cocksuckers fucking murder people. They fucking burn buildings down, dude. They fucking break laws. They do whatever the fuck they want. But we go fucking steal a candy bar. The other day, I fucking put up this article, and it fucking pissed me to the fucking core, dude. There was these fucking kids. There were children. They were fucking kids, dude. There was a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. And they went into a fucking Target. They grabbed Pokemon cards and a fucking box of pizza, and they went onto a parking lot and they ran. And the cops unfucking loaded on these two. They shot one of them and fucking killed him. The other kid got shot, and then they shot two people in the parking lot over $20 of Pokemon cards and a pizza. But they can take trillions of fucking dollars. People die. People were dying in those fires I showed you guys. They're literally burning people alive to fucking hide their crimes. People were dying, and no one cares. They're literally that no one cares. They're literally walking the streets, smiling, sipping champagne. Like this shit is beyond fucked, dude. It's like beyond fucked, dude. Shit, like fucking pisses me off. Like I said, if it was up to me, I would have already kicked in people's fucking teeth. But that's not the way. So, god damn. Like what the fuck? You fucking take from my tax. You tax me on fucking my paycheck. You tax me on anything I fucking buy. You tax me on land. You tax me on for everything. Everything. Meanwhile, you give tax breaks to every fucking corporation, every rich fucker. Think about this. Think about this. This is a true statement. Teachers and nurses paid more in taxes. Teachers and nurses paid more in taxes than billionaires. I'm going to say that again. Teachers and nurses paid more in taxes than billionaires. What? So the shit is beyond fuck. Getting all flustered, so I'm gonna hit a bong real quick. So give me a minute here. I haven't smoked in like 4 hours. I'm getting all flustered, man. I'm talking about my uncle and stuff, so I need to regroup. Give me like 2 minutes, please. I will be right back. All right, y'all. We back. But yeah, man. Like I said, this shit's fucking crazy. And then like the Ukraine stuff, dude. Like they're just shipping fucking just hundreds of billions. Isn't it funny how they never seem to have money unless other fucking countries or other people need it? But the second we fucking need, oh man, we ain't got no money. We can't do anything with these student loans. We can't do any. Like I said, this shit's fucking mad, dude. The United States is just in a fucking. Like I said, it's just the worst it's ever been, man. But that's why we need to pay attention, you guys. We need to start watching these politicians, because if you can't. See, the thing is, it's not like we have lobbyists. We don't have these people running and they're trying to get the laws written. We don't need that. No, we don't. We need it, but we don't have that ability. We can't sit there and what are we gonna? We don't have that luxury. That's the word I'm trying to say, where we can fucking go fight in that way. So the only way that we truly have to fight, unfortunately, is these fucking we can vote, and it's like the only, like I said, that's why we gotta stop fucking worrying so much. You gotta realize
red or blue, it's the same shit. It's really the same people in the background running it. They don't care. If you see somebody with Ken Griffin and you're a massive fucking Republican, but there's a Republican in the state of Illinois, which we'll go ahead and go over real quick. You guys, like I said, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. If I tell you to vote or like look at a certain individual, don't take that as me saying, oh, vote this way. I don't care how you vote. The only thing I'm trying to show you is you need to vote for people that actually give a fuck about your interests at heart. That's what matters. Now, this governor here in Illinois, this Richard Irving, he's just donated another $20 million, okay? So you now know Richard Irvin's taken $20 million from Ken Griffin. Now, like I said, red or blue, I don't care how you are. Do you think he's going to vote in your favor? Do you really, truly think that? Or do you think he's going to vote in the favor of the guy who's given him $20 million? That's just the start of it, you guys. That's $20 million before he's in office. Now that you're able to do this guy favors, now what's he going to give you? You see my point? You gotta realize that shit we knew. All those things we learned. Red versus blue. Like I said, fucking put your money away. The stock market's the places for you to fucking make money. It is if you're going long. The stock market's made for you if you're going long. If you're going to play the rules that they want you to play. If you happen to align in the interests of the big companies at the time. If you do TA and you see where they're going. I mean, obviously there's tricks too with shorting. There's ways to make money. But the average consumer, the average retail investor, the average person that they're targeting doesn't understand that. You know what I mean? They don't truly get what's going on, and that's the problem, and that's transparent. I mean, truly think about this. Look at how easy it is to make a fair listen to this. Watch this. I'm going to show you guys right now how to make the stock market boom, like this. How you make it work, okay? I wish this fucking had just an eraser. The fact that this does not have an eraser tool is stupid. What the hell was I gonna say? I'm sorry. I'm now I'm high, so I forgot I was gonna go over. What was I just gonna go over? What the fuck were we just talking about? I'm waiting for the chat to remind me on what I was just gonna show you because I cannot remember. We hit one more bong until I can remember real quick. And see, this is a problem. Another problem with going on, and I think a lot of people, and this is what's also contributing to the impatientness, is you had a lot of people that bought in AMC because they were told, and this is what I'm talking about, like, no matter what, no matter who you're listening to, even if it's me, I'm not fucking perfect, I'm wrong. No matter who you're listening to, always double check everything, because in the end of the day, a lot of people got into this play and they were told it's going to be a quick short squeeze. It'll be quick. No matter what, it'll be quick. So what do? They over leverage themselves. They put in too much money. And then they think that anytime that they see it go down, they got to, keep buying, or be part of the ape thing, keep buying. You guys, if that's part of your stress going on, it's okay to also not buy for a little bit. It's okay to relax. And like I said, I'm going to tell you right now, just because I say phase 6 is a massive thing, it is a massive thing. To me, it's the biggest thing. Any regulation, any kind of change, anything that we've experienced, in my eyes, it will be the biggest thing. But just like, all right, here's an example. All right, so you remember that new rule here coming out here, NSC 003? Okay, now, a lot of people, all right, okay, so if you guys have been, I don't know if you guys have been kind of listening at all about, or been reading about this. I've put up a video, and I had a couple people talk about this. Dave Lauer had a space call. If you guys are on Twitter at all,
if you look up Jay Brown, I'll show you his Twitter here real quick. He actually has it recorded with Dave Lauer. So if you want Dave Lauer's take on this exact topic as well, go ahead and go to Jay Brown here, and he will have it posted down here. It should just say Space Call 003. It should be entitled, but it'll be in a post down there. I can't find it right this second. Oh, yeah, it'll be just like this. It'll be down a little farther. Here you go. No, whatever. Yep, here it is, right here. It's this one right here. I can post this link for you guys if you want to listen in the chat. Like I said, I always like to show my work. I don't like to ever just say blah, blah, blah. But if you guys look at this, now, just to show you guys reference on why I'm saying with Phase 6, they always seem to find a way. It's fucking annoying as shit. So with this, as you guys can see, a lot of people were getting super nervous about this SFT because they can cover naked shorts, which is another thing. See, this is another stupid fucking rule that I don't know if I fully understand it, but my interpretation of this is it's fucking bullshit. It's like I was told by Dave it's not exactly what I think, but it is what I think in a sense. But whatever. I'm going to show. Do you guys want to learn about fuck it. In my eyes, this is a little reverse repo type shit that's going to be centrally cleared, and it's going to be another liquidity pool that, yes, they will need to deposit more money in, so it'll take money away from them in this sense, but at the same time, it gives them another little pool liquidity in my eyes to corrupt, just like the CNS program. So I think it's a joke, but this SFT program, basically, if this isn't passed and if this regulation, they always seem to find another way. And if they don't get this, it sounds like what they'll do is just more people will join the CNS fucking program, because it's pretty much the same thing. And this is why I said no to this, because this is the thing. Why in the fuck is it? Why is it every goddamn day, instead of it just saying, all right, we made these fucking cocksuckers cover their fucking bet that was bad, we're going to make some new stupid fucking rule, or we're going to have some new program that provides liquidity, and we'll let them kick the fucking can. No, fuck your liquidity. Fuck your kicking the can. At this point, I don't need no more bullshit. I don't need no more like, let's add this, let's add this. Liquidity just means that you're adding fake shares to make it so the market is undisrupted at that current moment, and that exact second, they can always fill a share. That's it. It's stupid and it's fucking dumb. And in reality, all you should have right here is fucking, this is how this is it. This is how you fix the stock market. Number one, how do you fix the stock market? This is it right here, you guys. This is it. This is how you have a perfect stock market. I'm literally going to show you how the United States stock market should be. Now, you have retail investor, and watch this. This is where it gets really fucking crazy, okay? This is where it gets crazy. And you have fucking institutions, okay? This is where it starts to get crazy. This is where it makes sense. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start to make sense to you guys real quick. So you have a retail, and then you have institutions, okay? Now just imagine if retail and institutions, when they bought, here you go, you did a trade, you made a trade, that we went to a broker, okay? That's it. Now watch this. This is where it gets real fucking crazy. That broker then took our trade. There was now. In real life, what happens is now you got a market maker who can decide fucking 75 fucking, over the counter internalizer, OTC, fucking, whatever he wants is the fucking CNS, all the goods. He figures out which way he wants to. You just go ahead and go, well, Citadel, you're fucking a complete fucking waste, and you're pointless. You're fucking pointless. What you mean a market maker is pointless? The only reason a market maker is there is to provide liquidity? You mean the only reason a market maker is there is to fucking provide fake shares when there's no real shares? That's the point of a market maker? Okay, well, guess what? You delete the market maker. Now there's no more fake shares. Oh my God, that was that fucking hard, Brian? Oh man, Bigums. Holy fuck, you fixed that. Now, Here's where it gets even more trickier and even more, holy fuck, that makes sense. Now, instead of institutions getting what we call a dark pool, so A, what's the purpose of a dark pool? What's the purpose of a dark pool? A purpose of a dark pool is so institutions, when they buy, they don't get attacked by fucking algorithms, okay? Now, because what's going to happen is they're going to take that fucking order, right? And they're going to break that up into little blocks, okay? They're going to break those up into little blocks, and then they're going to go fill those orders, okay? In different revenues, blah, blah, blah. Whatever they're going to do. And what they don't want is an algorithm to take this and then raise the price, and then ends up the institution gets worse prices during that. That's what they're for, okay? So to make it so, well, first of all, get the fuck rid of these goddamn high-frequency trading. That was fucking hard. Now watch how crazy this is. Now, instead of having dark pools, because what's the purpose of dark pool on top of that? Because of what I just showed you, how they don't want these to be attacked, and they don't want them to, all of a sudden this buy order goes through, and all of a sudden, since this one didn't get filled yet, the poor fucking institution that doesn't have enough money to afford it, they might lose out on a little bit of money here. So we got to make sure that they all get filled and it doesn't affect the price, because we don't want this one to affect the price, so this one doesn't affect the price, and then this one, and then this one, because the institutions might lose money. The poor fucking institutions. Or the institutions can suck my fucking dick and they can follow the same big boy rules as retail, and then when they order, guess what? There's no fucking dark pool. And just like us, they go to what we call a lit exchange. Holy fuck. And you know what that means? Everything. We're talking 100% orders. 100% transparency. 100% orders will now hit what we call the public data feed. Guess what? I just gave you 100% market transparency in 5 fucking seconds. 100%. 100%. That means the second a trade is fucking done, guess what? You not only know about it, the whole fucking world knows. Everyone. The whole fucking world knows. Guess what? True price action, you guys. Watch this, watch this. I'm gonna fucking blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. If this is all what's happening here, true, watch this. 100%. You got 100%. Watch this, watch this. Transparency, and you got 100% true price action. Holy fuck. So I just solved two of the biggest, craziest, unsolvable fucking things in the stock market. 100% price action and 100% transparency, you mean? I can do that by eliminating the market maker and putting everything on a lit exchange that hits the public data feed? Holy fuck. There you go. There you go, you guys. You now have the most perfect fucking goddamn stock market ever. And you can have 15 fucking, instead of a market maker, you have a whole bunch of fucking lit exchanges like you do now. And that's what, guess what? And not only that, watch this. I'm going to make it even better. I'm going to show you guys even better. Because you're going to have a whole bunch of these exchanges, because you'll have a whole bunch of them, they're now going to have to do competition between each other to fill your order. Think about this. Now they'll have to do competition to fill your order, and now watch. Retail now gets true best price. Why? Because they're going to compete to fill your order. You guys, I just fixed the entire stock market. I gave you 100% true price action. I gave you competition between the exchanges, which means you will now get best and true price execution. And I just gave you 100% transparency. And guess what? Those brokers can buy or fill the order. And guess what? When a retail guy now goes, hey, or an institution says, I want to buy these stocks, this broker has to go, oh, wait, there's no shares. Oh, really? There's no shares? It was that simple. Sorry. You got to wait until somebody wants to sell it, which means true price action. Why? Because you have true supply and demand. And what do stocks fucking run off? They tell us they run off supply and demand. Well, what the fuck? There you go. I just fixed your supply and demand. I fixed what your stock market says it fucking runs off. I fixed your fucking true price thing, which we know that the stock price is fake. I gave you true price back execution for institutions, which now watch this. Watch this. Not only does this fix true best price, not only will that fix that, dark pools were made for institutions to get best true price action. Well, guess what? I just basically made dark pools irrelevant because I did that by making the exchanges have to compete with each other. I literally just made you the perfect stock market, and I fixed 100% of the problems with the stock market. That's how easy it is. If anyone in chat can dispute anything I just said, please do. I would love to know where I'm wrong. That's how your market should run. Like, that's how we all assumed it ran. Does it not? That's how they tell us it runs. This is the lie they show us. Well, the lie should be the truth. And everything would be fine. Al from Boston was a fucking clown, bro. Transfer out of Fidelity? Nah, man. I use Fidelity. Here's the thing about Fidelity. Fidelity is their own clearing fucking service, too. So you'll know who to sue. And on top of that, Fidelity, they can't do a fucking Robin or Robin would be like, oh, we're a clearinghouse. Robin has their own clearinghouse, so they shouldn't be clearing what they can't fucking cover, right? Compared to like anyone else can just we'll shut the buy button off. They get told when to shut it off. Fuck that. Plus, with Fidelity, you know who the fuck to sue too. If they fuck you. And I don't think Fidelity's going to fuck us. See, the one thing about Fidelity, we bitch, we whine, and we moan to them, and they're the only fucking company that listened to us and added direct routing. They're the only company that gave a fuck what we said. And that matters to me, so. What about DRS? All right, we're going to address the fucking Doctor Strange here quick. When Adam Aaron said Doctor Strange 3 times, I do not think that he said, go DRS your shares. My opinion on DRS. I will never DRS my shares. I've put out videos on DRS. When it comes to selling, DRSing, you will have a lot of problems, especially if it gets to a squeeze number. DRS, you'll have no problem selling now, but when there's a giant frequency or a large amount of trading, you will have problems selling. It already says this literally on their website. It literally says it's not meant to be a broker type dealer situation. So I will not DRS because, like people said, the people that wanted to DRS said they wanted to make an infinity pool. I'm not buying shares to make an infinity pool to not sell them. I'm buying shares for when the fuck it squeezes, I'll make sure I can do it. They make it to where it's over a certain number, you have to mail it in. Could you imagine if you guys went to sell and you had to mail in your sell order and you fucking didn't get to sell for a week and the squeeze was over and it sold on you for fucking pennies or $1 or $5 and you lost money? Like I said, DRS, yeah, your shares are in your name. You get to vote, your vote. You know, the way you're voting at meetings count. You know it's in your name. Yeah, we can expose it, but at the same time, if too many people do it as well, you can get your stock delisted from the stock market. If you do not have enough liquidity inside of a stock exchange, they will delist your stock. So if everybody goes in DRSs, you will no longer have enough liquidity inside of the market, and they can delist AMC or GameStop. So yes, it can help in a sense, but you guys, here's my point about DRS. Everyone that said DRS was the way, go look at GameStop since they DRS'd. It didn't do a fucking thing. It didn't help them at all. DRSing does not do the thing. Like I said, DRSing, it's just like the STOs. It's just like I talked about earlier, like with Marco Hodes. Just because somebody comes up and says, hey, this does this, and it sounds great, and it sounds like what we want, 90% of the time, they don't know the full scope of the story, or they're incorrect, or they're hoping it exposes. They don't really know the truth if it will or not, because no one does. Otherwise, other companies would have been using this shit. Go in more depth on Al from Boston? What do you mean? Like, do I like him? Al from Boston didn't know very much. When I talked to him, me and him were going to have he was going to be one of the guys I was going to do on a stream with, and he ended up backing out when I talked to him about a whole bunch of stuff. He said he knew all the shit about the market, but when I had a full in-depth conversation with him about the market, he didn't know anything. And then he ended up telling me, well, it's not even my idea. It was all this stuff's my buddy Jeff's or someone's idea. And then I met him, and he didn't know what he was talking about. I mean, Al from Boston came up, and all he said was AMC to 100,000, and everybody instantly fell in love with them. I mean, you gotta watch out for people that just blow up on scene when all they say is we're gonna go up. You gotta realize a lot of those type of people or things like that come out of nowheres. A lot of them, when you look at it, they work at J.P. Morgan, they work at banks. Like, you gotta work. You always gotta, like I said, do your DD on everyone, everything. In the end of the day, there's really not that many people out there that truly give a fuck. Dark pool's not really there to do anything to volume. Dark pool volume is still counted. So whoever was writing about I lost it. Whoever's writing about dark pools are there to lessen volume. They don't lessen volume. Everything, they're still on a tape. They still get counted. So the volume is still counted in dark pools. So whoever told you they're using dark pools to do that, that's not correct. When Gary Gensler said, and that's another thing too, like a lot of people, when Gary Gensler said that they're using dark pools 90% of retail, that's incorrect too. They're not using dark pools. They're using what is called internalizers and ATSs. That they're completely different. Dark pools aren't like that's one of them. The number one thing in this community that's incorrect is everybody says dark pools. They use dark pools. They use this. They very, very, very rarely use dark pools, even for retail. They don't need to. It's not profitable for them. The most profitable thing for a market maker is called internalization, and they'll do that every single chance they get. What I think about Charlie's vids? I like Charlie's vids for a while. I mean, me and him got along for a long time. I think he's knowledgeable. He does his research, but he also looks at things way too fast and then goes on to the very next thing and goes on to the next thing. And it's the stock market's so in depth. It's not something that you can just sit there and you guys see how long it takes for me to put a fucking video out. You don't just look at something and then go, all right, fucking this is this. You need to like do super in-depth research on shit because in there's so much behind the scenes for every single fucking aspect of the whole stock market. AMC, do I think it'll hit 15K? I mean, it could. Like I said, it all depends on if we get a short squeeze or a MOAS. If we go say, all right, it's time to fuck these bankers up, yeah, fuck yeah, it could. If they have to cover ISDA contracts, market makers need to cover, family offices get involved, oh yeah, you could hit a whole bunch of numbers. But if we short squeeze and we don't make the market makers cover and we don't make family offices cover and we don't make the banks cover, I don't think we'll hit 15K, no. Just being honest. But I don't see a short squeezing at this point. It's so fucking far gone. They're so fucked. The whole situation they've dug themselves in, I don't see them being able to get out with just a short squeeze at this point. There's too many big people involved. There's too many players involved. There's too many rich people that there's just too much. There's too many moving parts at this point where I don't, honest to God, think they can stop it. I don't see a way out for them. I don't. I don't. The only thing they can do is sit there and continuously maybe make these rules, make these revenues, make shit like this NS003 where they they continuously give these guys a couple more liquidity pools, another liquidity pool to drag it on. But the fact that they continuously do this, or the fact that they're having to continually resort to new things, shows me that, like I said, they're running out of they're backed into a corner so bad it's crazy. What's the highest number we can reach? Like I said, it's too hard of a question to ever answer. I don't know. It all depends on what happens. Like I said, it all depends on what happens with these banks. If we take the banks down, it depends on who we get crashing down. But I will say this. The fact that Huang's talking, the fact that these banks are being investigated, the fact that they're looking into their ISDA contracts is the best step and the best news. I'm telling you, it is the best news we could hear to start looking in the direction of a MOAS instead of a short squeeze 100%. I'm telling you, like I said, we went from being able to do a short squeeze to every day I see MOAS more and more and more. I don't see a short squeeze possible. I see it either fucking like I said, it's coming down to, like I said, they have to keep making revenues. They have to keep coming up with bullshit to figure it out to the point where, like I said, I think it's bad now, but I think it's worse truly than what I honestly think it is. Because, like I said, as much data as I see, I don't even see even half of the real data. So only God knows. Only God knows what truly is going on right now with what's in the back. But like I said, for us right now, from when we started to play, like I said, look at the charts, man. Everything is in our favor now. AMC, you got the housing bubble. You got your housing bubble. You see the chart right here. It's coming. It's going to pop. Everything I told you we need to have happen to get a MOAS. Here's the thing that I want you guys to understand. I've told you since day one, we need these certain things to happen for a MOAS, not a short squeeze, a MOAS. And the things I told us that we need to have happen is happening right in front of your eyes. Nobody should be freaked out right now. AMC fundamentally is completely changed. AMC right now, I mean, box office is fucking destroying it right now. Merchandise, they're selling out of every single thing they have. Because AMC is killing it right now. If you get the pun, what is it? If anyone offers me 1 million for what? Offers me 1 million for my shares? I probably wouldn't fucking take it with how many I have, because fuck that. A, I know what they're worth, and B, when we blow up, how do we know what money's even gonna be at that fucking point? All I know is if we start fucking seeing, I'm telling you right now, this is their backup. This is their absolute fallback plan. Blame the apes. Say we crash the fucking shit. Make CBDCs, and that's how they're going to try and control us. If you keep hearing more CBDCs, you keep seeing them say, it's our fault, it's our fault, it's our fault. Trust me, that's the way they're going to try and spin it. And then they're going to say, we need to monitor your money so this doesn't happen again. It's best for you. You guys are too stupid to know what you're doing. Bank of America, man, they're fucked, dude. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan. Those are the three. If you're in Bank of America, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs, they're the worst three banks to be in. They're the most over leveraged. They're the most criminal. They're the ones working with cartel. They're the ones that have the blacklist, that are taking bribes to fucking ignore the blacklist. I mean, the blacklist. I mean, the fact that they say that they're paying off the blacklist. I mean, if you're just gonna take fucking oligarchies and whoever you want just for fucking some money, man. Like I said, I mean, you guys think about what they're doing to us. These bankers are the fucking biggest criminals in the world. They're the biggest pieces of shit on earth. Well, yeah, the Nazis, dude. Fucking. Well, Deutsche Bank is just a fucking joke, too. I mean, like I said, it's pretty damn sad when you got fucking the newsmen blaming us. Like, holy shit. These guys don't know when to sell. And I like, my favorite part was they're like, yeah, they got 401ks on the line, but these apes, these amateur traders, she called us. The fact they called us amateur traders, it's like, you can shove it up your ass, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, what? You're an idiot. So we caught you in a lie and that makes us an amateur trader? Like I said, these guys are stealing from us and talking shit. It's like, if you saw that on the courtyard, if somebody did that to you in the schoolyard, you'd beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be dealing with that. Where to put money when everything's a joke? You know what I've been doing, honestly? I've been buying gold. I bought some land because in the end of the day, the way I'm looking at this is land is only going to go up. People aren't going to be able to afford these houses and shit in these cities. So what they're going to do is they're going to, like here in Minnesota, they're going to start moving more towards outside of the cities, you know, farmer area, rural areas. On top of that, the way I'm looking at this is, all right, if food and all this shit's getting more expensive, wouldn't you rather go have some farmland when it end up being more cheaper for you? You go get your own chicken, some, you know, some own stuff like that. So I think land and things of that nature could be a massive commodity. You know, you got silver. You got a whole bunch of things you can buy. You can always hedge against a crash. There's things you can do to hedge against what's coming. I played the spy. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that spy call the other day, but that was fucking epic. I called that spy when it hit the exact top. I was off by 16 cents, and then it just bottomed out like crazy. I mean, there's tons of things you guys can, you know, there's tons of ways to hedge and make money during this time, or if it does go way the fuck down. So, like I said, there's tons of things you guys can do. Some things you can do if you want to look at other ways, just Google how can I hedge against a market crash. You know, read a whole bunch of different people's perspectives. Just because I do something one way, I don't want to, you know, influence people to do something that way either. Yeah, and that's the thing too. If if you're buying gold, don't buy like gold stocks. Get gold, physical gold. You need that physically in your possession, not stocks, not anything of that, you know, gold NFTs, any of that crap. Make sure you're getting physical stuff that you can hold, put in a safe. I mean, here's the thing, you guys, if you look at it. I mean, if you're looking at your banks right now, how much, okay, let's say you have like what, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in your bank account. You're going to get what in interest a year holding your money in the bank account? 20 bucks, 15 bucks. Well, you're better off buying gold, holding that in your possession and putting it in a safe. You know, things of that nature. It's going to be worth fucking more than it is. In my eyes, when fucking fiat currency goes down, explodes,
I'd rather have gold than fucking God. The CBDCs, like I said, when we see those coming into play, we need to kick people's fucking teeth in. That's when we need to grab pitchforks and storm those fucking roads. I don't give a shit about anyone. I don't care about anyone saying, "Oh man, we can't storm the streets and protest." The fuck we can't protest. I don't give a fuck. Somebody might start breaking stuff. Oh well, shit happens. I mean, in the end of the day, it's our fucking right as citizens to fucking protest. Clearly, we're not gonna sit there and do those things ourselves. I'm not saying go bust up fucking houses and shit, but I'm just saying, like, Jesus Christ, in the end of the day, don't ever take your freedom to protest off the table. If there's something to protest about, it's them taxing you without representation. It's them fucking stealing from you and your children and your grandparents and your parents and everyone you know and love. There's something to protest. This is fucking it. I'm not saying we need to go do it now, but goddamn, don't just. Oh, these people took it off the table 8 months ago, and it's like, no. Like, if that's what it takes to educate other people, like I said, we got to get the message out on what's happening. That's our biggest way to win this shit. Yeah, pretty soon, dude. Seeds and water, man. That will be the way to go. What? Yeah, I'll be up in a minute. All right, guys, I got 7 more minutes, and then the wifey's calling. Gots to go. So we'll take these next 5, 6, 7 minutes. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Like I said, no question is ever a dumb question unless it's not asked, my friends. But I got 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Wifey's putting the foot down, and with how much time I put into this and not put towards her, you know, gotta obey sometimes. Nah, I made sure to make her dinner this time before. Plus, it's 1 a.m., man. I'll be on again. I mean, I'll make some videos tomorrow, too. I mean, I definitely want to get a whole bunch more stuff on. And like I said, guys, over these next couple of weeks here, if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter. We're going to be holding those space calls. There's going to be a whole bunch of us, Mask Investor. Like I said, I don't care if you don't like people. We got to get over that, man. Fuck picking a YouTuber. Pick the movement over a YouTuber every time. The movement comes over a YouTuber every time. Education comes over a YouTuber every time. So like I said, just because you don't like them, don't not join the space call. They might not talk that much. When they talk, if you really don't want to listen, fuck, shut them off. Mute the space call for a minute, walk away. It's okay. Like I said, don't miss out on vital information, and you never know, you might learn something. But like I said, we should have TMI. Matt will be in there. Trey will be in there. Boss Blunts will be in there. I'll be in there. Pete, Dave Lauer, Jay Brown, a whole bunch of other people. Like I said, we're gonna have as many people as we can get all in one space call, all hosting it. And like I said, I hope you guys come bring your questions for us. So doing this all for you guys. Like I said, in the end of the day, this is all for you. It's all for education. It's all for the community. You guys have given us a fucking shit ton. We definitely could start giving some stuff back. So like I said, we got about a couple more minutes, 3 more minutes here. Please, if you guys have any last questions, please ask. And like I said, man, you guys know, I mean, I was the first one to put the rant video out. So if I can move on from the YouTuber hatred for a minute for education, we all can. Like I said, we all can. We gotta evolve, man. We gotta beat the fucking tool bags. And we only do that together. Thank you, Stone Cold, man. Like I said, everybody, thank you for coming. Everyone who donated super chats, like I said, that all goes to my mom. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. She's gonna appreciate that. Like I said, my friends, anytime you guys need anything, my DMs on Twitter are always open. I try and answer as many as I can. Or like I said, I write posts on here all the time. So ask any questions on those too. I always try and answer those as well.
I think they'll take the buy button away again. I don't think they can. Honestly, that's a good question. I don't think they can take the buy button away. If you take the buy button away again during a squeeze, honestly, who would stay in the stock market anymore? You would lose 100% confidence in the market. I don't know who would stay. And if retail leaves, all these people, see, the thing is they need retail for this, because if retail leaves, they have nobody to steal from but rich people. And guess what? Those guys already owe them money in ISDA. They already owe them money through shorting. They already owe them money through the CMS program. So what are they going to steal from them? They could just say, all right, you owe it, but the Ponzi scheme's over and the stock market's gone. So they cannot lose faith in the stock market, or like I said, they can't lose retail. Otherwise the Ponzi scheme comes crashing down. So no, I don't think they can take it away. I think when it goes, that will be your MOAS. When it finally happens, that's what I'm saying. Just be patient, relax. Stop watching that line every day. Who cares what the price is until that day when you wake up and suddenly these bankers are getting fucking raided. The market makers are closing. Boom, you're fucking looking at big fucking money in your account to where you're like, it was worth it, because I promise you it will be. And the longer we wait, you guys, like I said, if you can afford it, don't ever push yourself. But if you can afford it, fuck. If you're at a high average down a little bit. Get more shares. Make it to where you have so many more shares that you don't need it to hit those fucking astronomical levels to get those numbers. You don't need 100,000 fucking to hit it. You don't need 15,000. Yeah, it'll be nice, but it'll be nice if you hit 800 and all of a sudden you're looking at fucking a million. You know what I mean? 800,000 plus. Always, you said, you can always prepare yourself, always learn, always educate. But I got to go, my friends. The wifey's a calling. So thank you all for joining. Like I said, I'm off the next 3 days. We'll put some videos out. I definitely will go live again, probably tonight or tomorrow night or the night after that. So thank you guys. Love you. We'll see you guys soon.